Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. We are here today. We are here today. Don't mind me, don't mind me. I'm just representing my alma mater, the school that changed my life for a good way and a bad way as well. What's up? Welcome to everybody to the Conversations with King show. What's up? What's up? For those who don't know, we are sponsored by the one and only the Ripple Company. Please check it out. It's a plant-based puffer and no weed, no CBD, no nicotine, and it's all natural extracts. This one is lychee aroma, green tea with the maca extracts. Please check it out. As you can see, it makes me look cool, feel cool, and I need you to have it as well. Also, for those who haven't got it yet, you need to download this book, the ebook on Amazon Kindle or Apple iBooks. If you want the physical copy, go to Amazon, Book Baby, and other distribution. And this is my book, Loving Life Through the Eyes of Travel. It was sold out 2 weeks ago. It's still out here, but get the ebook. It's worth it. Trust me, it's worth it. We want to pack the stage right now. I'm actually here with one of my homies, Vaughn. He has the guy I told you about a long time ago who has an app called Bad Badge, which deals with social injustices with police officers in New York City and nationwide. But you know, I don't know if he's going to participate today, but if he does, I'll bring him on. But I'm just happy that everybody's on board right now. Shout out to Maricela Flowers. She is our moderator. Those who want to be moderators and be a mod on this, please contact her. And she will get next to you as soon as possible. Shout out to Mr. Hall of Fame 23. He's the first person. I appreciate that. What we're going to do, without further ado, we are going to introduce two other members of the Four Horsemen of YouTube. These brothers mean so much to me because they were the original people, content creators, to help me establish my page. And what I want everybody to do, because right now we're in the beginning stages, we want to make sure that you go and follow their page as well. Let's pay them with promotions, cross promotions. Let's pay them with likes. Let's pay them with subscriptions, because we want to make sure they have the same level of engagement that the Conversation with King has. Let's make the likes. Also, make sure the likes are up. I only see 13 likes, 15 likes. I'll make sure the likes are up and the subscriptions up. Yesterday, we reached our goal of 100 likes in one night, and we had up to 80 viewers. But also, totally, we have 300 subscription members, 300 subscribers. That's important. We want to get up to 400 tonight, or we want to get up to 400 by the end of the week, or 500 actually by the end of the week. Please, I need your help to make sure that we accomplish our goal, because this is a very important platform. As you know, I do not play with this platform. So without further ado, we're going to take down all the banners, and we're going to focus on the people that really keep this thing going. First and foremost, Chef. How are you, brother? How are you? Can you hear me?
I can hear you perfectly. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Everybody knows Chef. Chef is the voice of reason. I have not, ever since we started this show, he has provided wisdom to everyone, to the point that people actually mistaken him for a therapist. He's been so on point in helping people and making sure we stay balanced. And without him, this wouldn't be possible. I don't know what to say, because this man has made sure that I stayed in line and every other member stayed in line. And it's actually a good segue to the next member of the Four Horsemen, which is E Black, because I believe Chef has created an environment where E Black can be who E Black really is. And E Black, if those who don't know, E Black is one of the most charismatic. I don't want to say handsome, because I want to be the only dark-skinned handsome person in this crew, but he's a very handsome, charismatic individual, and he has information, but it's entertaining. It's entertaining, so we want to give him his props. We really want to give him his props. Please, show him his love. Get the likes up. We're going to bring in E Black in the room right now. E Black, what's up, baby? Why does it start off like that? It's always fuzzy, then it gets super clear.
All right, man, I couldn't tell you, but what up going on, my guy?
Sexy. It's called Too Much Sexy. It's overpowering the megapixels.
Too much sexy.
Yeah, you know. Man, we gotta change, because we definitely gotta change the view for this one right here, boy.
There's a view.
This one I brought out especially for the flowers, you know.
We need the E Black full screen.
you know.
Thank you so much. Good evening. Also, shout out to JP. Thank you, JP, for coming on. Shout out to the flowers and the rocks. Hope the spirits are well. You know JP's question: how is your spirit?
That was the
How is your
spirit.
spirit? Um, I'm just happy with that. Shout out to Kim. Kim, we want to make sure Kim is okay. Kim M85, we appreciate you and everything. Shout out to Scorpion. Thank you so much. We are growing at the fastest rate I've ever seen in my life. We have over 300 subscribers, and we only been here for less than 6 days. Also, we have the highest engagement you have ever seen in any show. So let's keep this up. I remember the first show we had, it took us a minute to get to 20. Now we get 20 off the rip, right? So once by next week, 2 weeks, we want 40 or 50, 60 people off the rip. This is going to be organic growth, and I'm just happy for you. Number one thing too, and I want this to be recorded. Get all the information from us now, because later on this ain't going to be free. And I'm not selling information to my community. I'm going to give the information for free. But I'm talking about my brothers, Chef and E Black. I don't think they're going to give it to y'all for free. So get everything you can right now, because shit about to get pricey for my brothers. You know how it goes. You got to give them love, because if they dedicate their time to you, you got to show them at least that type of love. You understand? So
Peace to Fat Joe. Yesterday's price. It's not
today's price.
Right.
It's not today's price. So, I'm just happy that everybody's in the room.
Peace to Fat Joe.
Yes. So also, he said chocolate thunder. I love that, JP. That is so funny. Shout out to Terry M. Happy Tuesday all. Thank you so much. We have an exciting show for you today. I got my candles lit. I got my orchard looking a little bit there. We're gonna get it right. And I got my homie to my right. Hopefully he jumps in and gives his input on things. He's very informative, very wise, and has lived a very full life. So we just want to say thank you for that. Before we go on, I just want to tell you about an experience that happened today, and it literally just happened. I went to get some honey wine with my boy, because I can't start the show without honey wine. Give me 1 second, flip floor. Give me 1 second. Give me.
Well, I wonder what he got coming up.
Right.
So
speaking of wine, the wine for the evening.
What you sipping on?
House of Brown
Chardonnay. It's not the wine. Remember, the Ripple only has 400 puffs. And because I did this show, which I wasted my 400 puffs. Not wasted, but I thoroughly enjoyed my 400 puffs. So now you got the new flavor. The new flavor is called the Dream. And that one is lavender aroma. And it's made out of, let me see if I can see it with y'all. It is made out of, correct me if I'm wrong, it's made out of valerian root extract, as well as jujube seed. These are all natural stuff. I don't want to promote or kill my community. This is all natural stuff. Please support this organization, because they support us. Once again, we one of the few people that got sponsorship without even a video. They believe in what we're trying to do, and I think the world believes in what we're trying to do, because we are the fastest growing. Have you ever seen anything faster than this, E Black?
Nah, man. I actually, like I said, man, I never knew. I'm not gonna sit here and say, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, yo, I knew this was gonna do what it was. I was just here for the ride. And so far the communities, I'm getting text messages, inboxes, people are telling me, hey, this is the great look,
Right. So look at, we have 30 viewers right now, and I'm not even trying. I didn't even open my fucking my puffer yet, my plant-based puffer yet. And I want to say one thing. Shout out to everybody. When you got two dark-skinned men and a handsome Grimal, you don't think I know fucking Creole, Grimal. We got a handsome Grimal on the thing, and you got a dark-skinned man with a lisp that's about to take over the motherfucking YouTube page. Please be concerned. But before we go on and we talk about the topics today, I need Maricela, one of the original flowers, if not the original flower. I need her to post up the warning today. And I like to give my warning before we start the show because we don't want any type of lawsuits or any type of trauma that comes with this type of show. This type of show is a show that is not to be played with. This type of show is a show to educate and heal our community through entertainment and through information. So I want to give this disclaimer. So please bear with me. Because of the topics that we are dealing with today, and y'all saw the description, we want to let you know, all jokes aside, because there will be entertainment jokes, the following content may be identified as offensive and or sensitive to some audiences. No bullying / body shaming will be tolerated. Please seek help from a health professional. We will have jokes, we will have fun, but we're not trying to bully or body shame with these topics today. We are here to protect the flowers. We are here to let the flowers know where we stand. And then for those who are new to our community garden, we're going to explain the terminologies for you. We call the men rocks. Rocks are solid. We also call the women flowers. They're therapeutic, they're beautiful to look at, and they provide nurture. Chef, can you tell us the functions of both rocks and flowers, kings and queens in our garden, our community garden, please?
Without question. We're going to start with the flowers. Even though the rocks may be the most dense and and contain the most tensile strength, flowers create life. Flowers turn the sunlight into oxygen. Oxygen, which thus allows us to breathe. The excess oxygen that we breathe out, those flowers then take that carbon dioxide, again with the sunlight, recycle it and breathe life back into us. So our flowers, they're the fuel to our rocket ship. They may give us energy, run us up. When we run that energy down, they take our crap and turn it into oxygen and strengthen us again. So those are the flowers. We're going to talk about the rocks, right? The rocks. When you look at a garden, where do you normally see the rocks? The rocks are normally spread out on the circumference of the garden, or the places where you don't want anyone to touch your flowers.
Get the lights
are sharp. The rocks are strong. No one's going to make a mistake and step on your flower by mistake, because they'll feel the pain from those rocks that run the outer circumference of that garden. So we all play a vital part within these. You know, some of the biggest rocks are mountains. Sometimes the mountains protect the greatest valleys that exist. Look at Wyoming, you know, so rocks and flowers, that's what we are here. And within this forum, this is going to be a safe space. I hate using that word safe space, but literally this is going to be a safe space for discourse and for us rocks and you beautiful flowers to be able to communicate and come to some solutions, figure out where we'll never be able to figure it out, and have a good time in a safe space.
That's it. Thank you. Get the likes up. We're at 28 likes right now. I told you, anytime we see 37, we need double of that. So get the likes up. We want to start the show. We are off at a good start. I don't want to play with anybody. Today is going to be probably one of the best shows. If you like Stockholm Syndrome yesterday, this is going to be one of the best shows. It's going to be spicy. It's going to hit home, and it's not something to be played with. We are going to discuss topics that, on a light note, will make you laugh and make you feel good. But also, like I said, this is one of the topics either you're going to learn with us or you're going to cry with us. This is a real topic we're going to discuss today, and it's from my book. So also, I don't want people to think I'm taking shots. You know, I have issues with other networks, but it's not taking shots. I wrote this book 2 years before I ever met anybody in YouTube. So this is from my book that I wrote 2 years ago. So no shots. It's just a coincidence. The subject matter deals with things that I'm beefing with now. So I just want y'all to take heed to that. I need the likes up. Where we at the likes right now? before I begin, I'm not gonna begin until I get the likes up. We at 30. That's a damn shame. I need more. Give me to 40. Give me 40 likes.
Hey, shout out Shannon.
Oh yeah, there you go. Just don't hit the like button, but also share with the live. Shannon's my frat. Shannon's my frat. We might not see eye to eye, but he's still my frat. And I love him. I love him. That's what frat does.
Yeah.
Frat teaches you how to love people you disagree. But Shannon, you might have to come up here. It might get spicy. We're gonna have a little talk. And I want my boy Chef to mediate. We the fastest growing. We're gonna have a heart-to-heart. Now we're changing the whole dynamics of this shit now. Now we change the whole, because it's about to be a crazy show, but now Shannon's involved. We're gonna get to the heart-to-heart, because me and him got a heart-to-heart talk, because we had a little beef. But that's my frat, so we're gonna talk. We're gonna be all right. I said things, he said things, and we're gonna talk about this. So we're gonna bring you up. I don't know how long you got, Shannon, but let's talk. Let's get this out the way. A couple of things, or if you want to get it over with now, let me know. It's up to you. Get the likes up. We're the most engaging show ever. Get the likes up. And I need you, Chef, to create Chef and E Black. I need y'all to give context if me and Shannon go up and have our discussion. Okay. All right. I need y'all to give context to the whole thing. This is surprising. I didn't even know he was gonna come up today. Did anybody know?
Huh? I ain't gonna lie, I did.
Oh, you did. You didn't even tell me. That's crazy. Why didn't you tell me?
I was keeping it. I was like, man, you know. That's my guy, though. That's my guy, Shannon.
Chef, I love you, man. Chef, you're a funny dude. I love you.
Man, can I get a special shout out to this shirt though? Come on, man. I wore this one specially for the ladies.
About stuff like this, man. I like that though, because you know what? We keep everything transparent.
You know,
you inspired this one. You inspired this one. People like, look, I even got a couple buttons on my shirt, fam. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Keep it clean, you know.
We all supposed to be gentlemen like up in here.
You know,
I'm going tonight. I'll pull up after. If y'all still going, we can box it out. All right, perfect. He said gonna put out what? Let me know what time. They go. Y'all go for 5 hours. We can do it right now.
Hold on. Now we need that versus battle, man. Hold on. We gotta do this the right way, man. We gotta do this the right way. Yeah, let me holler at you.
He knows he's welcome. So let's let you know. Me and Shannon are gonna have this discussion we supposed to been had. And it's gonna be good. So I don't know. It starts right now. Does King's talk right now or not?
I think 7:30, maybe an hour and a half.
I mean, he could go there. We still rocking over here.
Yeah. He got to get right. You know, it's hard. I know it look easy sometimes, but it's really hard to do this.
All right. So he get right. So he come.
I respect the professionals.
Yeah.
Shout out Shannon Rose.
We're not gonna hate on Death Row. We're not gonna hate on Death Row, right? It's bad boys over here. We ain't gonna hate on Death Row. We cool. If you, we cool, man. We gonna hate on Death Row. All right, but keep the likes coming. What we at in likes real quick, because I can't start unless I get certain amount of likes. I got 33 likes. Let me get 33. That. Mm-hmm. That's good. Hopefully we might have to stay extra now because we want to get that Shan situation going. But they be going on for 5 hours talking about other shit. You feel me? We talk about other shit. We talk like, yeah, we talk about other shit. But next time, come on, E Black, you gotta let the home team know. Like, why you didn't let us know, brother?
Say what?
Why you didn't let us know about Shannon coming through?
Oh, he just hollered at me. We supposed to be getting something down and on my channel. We're gonna have a little talk. We're gonna talk about, you know, I want to really pick his brain about his experience. He got a lot of experience there.
Yeah, he got a lot of experience. You know what I mean? He got a lot of experience. But when he gets on this stage, I hope he's still on here. When you get on here, I'm going to crush you, Shannon. But you're still my frat brother. I'm going to crush you, though. Serious crush you. I'm going to crush you because don't worry about me. You need to worry about the emperor chef. Make sure E Black didn't lead you into the guillotine. Don't worry about me. All right, but listen, oh here, let me put that because we fair. All right, thank you for showing love. I love you for that though, for real. Thank you so much. Thank you, for real, for real, for real, for real, for real. At the end of the day, like I said, everything is kept on social media. We are competitive. We do go hard at each other, but nothing is taken outside of the realm of social media. And I appreciate y'all. Thank you so much. And we don't hesitate. We don't block anybody out. We don't block. We don't cut people off. What we do is let you create your own narrative. You feel me? Let you create your own narrative. And shout out to E Black. He didn't tell me, and I like that because what happens is if I am the guy I say I am, it shouldn't matter who comes up here or not.
It really.
I'm a rock. So I'm solid. It doesn't matter who comes up here. So I respect that. Thank you, E Black. And thank you so much, Chef, because you're gonna keep the balance. I appreciate you for that. So with that being said, and we promoted their show too. Go over there if y'all want to. Well, if y'all go over there, the pit bulls are gonna sick you if you come back. Just letting you know.
Oh, come on now. We're not doing that.
So we can start this thing right. Because I'm tired. I want to start. We got a good show tonight. We got a good show tonight. Start it up.
You try to bully the net, my guy.
Start it up. We got a good show tonight. What do you mean by that? It's going to be difficult for you. What that mean?
Man, look at his profile pic, man. We don't address these type of cats.
What does that mean?
We don't.
What does that mean? What do you mean by that?
Man, don't address these cats, man. They in their own little world right now. They can't understand. They can't understand real big man business. You know what I mean?
What they got to talk about? In 4 days, we had 20,000 impressions. We don't have art covers. We don't have fucking fancy machines that make sound effects. This is just straight content. Like this is content. There's nothing special about my show. Nothing but the content. Nothing. This is raw. This is raw. This is raw. I wanted Shannon to go off today because Shannon's actually very intelligent, but
very intelligent.
Very intelligent. But the analytics, he's an analytics guy. And if he sees the analytics from my show, it's gonna fuck him up. It's gonna fuck him up. Because you don't get these type of analytics at all. And I did.
Get this off the screen, my guy. God,
oh, my bad, man. I'm sorry, man. I was trying to get you back for inviting Shannon, man. My bad. yo, my bad, man.
Hey, petty this. Hey, we already a weekend. We getting the elbow room space now.
Get the lights up.
We're gonna call this petty.
Let's start the show right now because they're killing me with the lights. But I'm gonna do this first topic. But after that, I'm not doing anything else without these lights up. All right. So the first thing we're gonna talk about today is what type of messaging are these celebrities telling our children by giving these high ticket items to their significant others? For example, today I was on the shade room and Offset just gave Cardi B, or bought her for her gift, a beautiful piece of real estate in Dominican Republic, which is one of her motherlands, because she's half Dominican and Trinidadian, I believe. Before that, we saw Money Yo Bag's significant other, Ari Fletcher, I believe. She gave him land in Tennessee, I believe. Acres. Is this a publicity stunt? Is this a flex for ego? Or is this something that they really, really wanted to embark and teach the kids? So let me know. What do you think, fellas? What do you think that these celebrities are doing? Me personally, I think it's all three, right? I think they are flexing because there's only but so many Birkin bags you can buy, so many cars you can buy, so many jewelry you can buy. I think they're saying, okay, I want to level up and I want to be the man, and the best thing you can buy is land. And they probably owned land before this, but they're making it a public spectacle to show the world this is what I'm doing because I am who I am. I think it's something that it is an ego flex. I think it's a publicity stunt, but I also think it's a way to teach our children what is the new status quo. It's not about Birkins, it's not about Chanel bags, it's not about Valentino, it's not about Louis Vuitton, it's about can you say you own the original American dream, which is land. So we really want to take time, at least 15 minutes, 10 minutes, and if anybody wants to chime in, I'm gonna put up the invite and let us know what you think these celebrities are teaching our youth. Because to be honest with you, I think it's all three. But some might say it's just a flex. They don't give a flying fuck about how we feel. They really don't. Turn the lights up, please. Turn the lights up. This is just the appetizer for today before we get into our real discussion. Turn the lights up.
You want to tap this,
I
Chef?
like that, Sharon. Okay, Sharon.
You want to tap this first? Chef, you want to
Oh
get this
yeah,
one?
you could have taken that. You got to take that. You like it.
You know, as I was looking at it, you know, of course you want to be inspired when any black person essentially grows and gets to the point to where we're showing married couples the power of black love and togetherness and how they actively share in communion amongst each other. That was the first thing I saw. It was like, you know, if you get with a sister, no matter her past, no matter her situation currently, she will shower you with gifts. And you're supposed to be doing the same thing. When you're getting it, you're getting it. Now, in terms of the ideology that they're doing it for clout, does it really matter? I mean, how do you get land for clout?
Mm.
It's a tough scenario, you know. I think also what kind of got into it was the fact that we're living in the COVID era. I think it's not a good look no longer to be sitting here sporting around, throwing around millions of dollars while most of the country is still suffering from a deadly disease. So to a larger extent, what I'm seeing is this: couples are now projecting the image of protection. They've been sitting in the house for a year and a half. They want to have safety and security. So maybe that's a part of it because we're no longer going to the club. And when we do go to the club, we're now putting our best foot forward, but you can only do that so much. And the imagery, especially in the black community right now, is community development. What we're trying to present. So I applaud any black married couple that is able to say, you know what, I'm establishing legacy land for the community. However, I just want them to understand that I want them to keep it, develop it, and create true legacy, not just to hold. Because we don't want to see 20 years from now that land being sold back at double the price. Back to them.
Okay. Chef?
So I'm kind of like you. I'm leaning towards multiple things. It can be all of those things. It can be all of those things. But we flip it from the person feeling or doing to the person receiving or perceiving. Listen, for one, I'm a heavy proponent of us getting our 40 acres and a mule back, not by way of reciprocity, not by way of reparations, by way of us pooling our income to literally go and stop wasting money and, incentivizing bullshit in order to do something real. You can go online. You can purchase 5,000, 10,000 rural acres in any state in the country. And you go take a look. You could finance it. You could go get you, even if it's 5, 6 acres, literally for 20 grand, 30 grand, and you own it. You own the streams, the rivers, every animal that goes across it. You own it. So the land thing, actually, out of all of the gifts that I've seen going from celebrity to celebrity over the course of the past year, that's the dopest. That's land. That's a piece of God's green earth that you get to call your own. Right? So that one was dope. And I'm gonna come back to that one. The other piece.
Turn the lights up. Turn the lights up. Turn the lights up.
We got to turn the lights up.
We need 40. We need 50 likes right now, or we're not gonna move to the next subject. I'm telling you, this is nothing to play with. We got some real subjects today. Check the descriptions out.
Cause you're gonna watch how I bend them corners. I take you sometimes. In Atlanta, we say, Chef, I be taking folks up 285 to 75. So listen, Cardi, Dominican Republic. My parents are from Haiti. My family owns land in Haiti. Uncles, aunts, mom. That is something that is a dream, especially when you're a member of the diaspora from any country. You think about going back home. The dream of when you leave your country is to be able to die back home a better person than you left. So even though she was here all her life, regardless, that's a piece of legacy. And it's land. And it's a beautiful thing. All right. Now you talk about Ari Fletcher and what she bought for Yo. Basically, all I can say is this: the land and property of Dominican Republic, I rock with it. But now we have to kind of twist it. I'm not one for showing gifts that I give. You get what I'm saying? I'm not big on I got my old lady this, I got her that. That's not something that I do, because those things that I do are things that I'm supposed to do if I consider myself romantic or a good dude. So you don't take credit for that. So I don't go. It's almost like me putting up a big post. Yo, I fed my kids today, y'all. Those things are supposed to remain within. The cost of the gifts, that's going to be an objective question, because of the fact that if both of them are millionaires or both of them have a high degree of wealth, then normally, in order to show that what they really mean, because gifts sometimes bring up sacrifice, right? So it's going to be a high degree of sacrifice. But I kind of want to go back. I want to go back now. And let's say if Chef was Offset's marketing manager, or marketing manager for Offset and Cardi, and I was also the marketing manager for the person that purchased that land, right? I would have used it as a tale, not to show how dope I am or how much money I have, but I would use it as a tale to open up the conversation about land ownership and how cheap it costs. Talk to the brothers in the hood that we've seen blow 100 racks at Strokers, 100 racks at the Blue Flame, 100 racks at Sue's, and understanding that 20 of those racks could get them a hell of a lot of land and power. And to create that power structure that we say that we want, I would have helped them craft that into a cautionary tale, or craft that into a situation that would start the conversation about it. Cardi, she potentially could have used it as something that would have brought more light to her country, and she could have used it. She potentially use it, to talk about causes, whatever the case may be. It's about how you spin it, because it's all spin. They are all celebrities. So what makes them important, what gets them a check, is their face and their name. So It's all publicity. The thing is what you do with that publicity. That's the key. I spoke something about the responsibility we had yesterday. I spoke about the responsibility we have when we have a voice that folks listen to. So in maintaining that level of responsibility, when we have an opportunity to, because people follow us to do something right, that's a responsibility as well. So they're just faces. It's about how they spin their faces that makes a difference. But the gifts don't make, it doesn't matter.
Listen, I want to bring Mr. Best in the World up here. I apologize, brother, for not being able to come to your show yesterday because we went over time. I'm not going to bring him up because right now, until we get a certain amount of likes, because when he comes up, he drops gems. So I want to make sure we have the same amount of likes. I need 60 likes for him to come up, and he's worth that. So let's do this right. Please hurry up, give me the likes so he could come up because I really want to hear his opinion. But I see I have to do this with my community garden because people come in and out in our garden and they don't pay tribute. And all we ask for you is to pay likes. Just put likes up, likes, and we could continue this and smooth and flowing and like anything else. Me personally, I agree with brother Nupse, and that's funny because you know where that's from. That's from that movie. Once you put it out there, it is about ego. Once it gets it out there, it is about ego. You can do that without anyone knowing. And at this time, at this economic time, it might be another depression we're going through or recession. You don't want to brag about money because people don't have it. They don't. We have to be very mindful of that. I like what Keisha said though, because Keisha said he's just trying to make amends for all the girls. Keisha is so funny. I love her. She's the best. She's actually one of the flowers. But you know, we're gonna talk about that as well. Also, Hanifa said they are teaching them what Disney has always taught them, us, that you aren't really loving, being loved, or valued if you aren't showered, blessed with material things.
Yeah.
And Hanifa hit it the nail on the head.
Yeah. She's right.
Children that a man does not love you if he does not give you material things. And that's something that we need to understand. Does material substitute for infidelity? I'm sorry, fidelity? Is materialism a substitute for devotion? We have to really get into this topic. And we want to bring Mr. Best up, but get the likes up because I'm not bringing him up for free. He costs. We have 53 right now. I need 60 before I bring him up. Give me that before I bring him up. Thank you. So how do you feel about that? Is materialism a substitute for fidelity or devotion? Fellas?
I'm on the fence with this one. I do think you need to put an investment in your relationship, whether it be monetary, whether it be vacations, you know, whether it be counseling, whether it be more faith in God, you know. So I do believe that you can invest in your relationship to make amends for past transgressions.
Okay. Okay. I like that. Put your flowers up, ladies. Put your flowers up. Chef, they want to hear you speak. What do you feel about that?
So I make sure I'm totally on context. Just give it to me once more because I think I heard a little something different. Talk to me.
Eric, E-Black, you just said something. He didn't hear you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I said
No. I'm talking about you, King. I want you to run that. Yeah, run that back.
I want your screen is for that. I want you to know that basically Keisha said people are essentially, Hanifa, they're essentially saying, celebrities are saying to our children that materialism equates to being loved.
Oh, okay. That's the part. I thought you framed it as another question. Okay. So in terms of what Hanifa said, 100%. I spoke about in one of the previous broadcasts when we talked about the bride price or the dowry in Africa, right? Or class, old school communities. I stated that companies like De Beers with the diamonds co-opted the institution of love, and our society. What we ended up doing is doing it the same way. Valentine's Day, different holidays. If you notice, there's always a specific industry that tends to benefit, or some specific industries that tend to benefit
right
from what they did to co-opt the love process.
right
So do I believe it? Is she correct? She's absolutely correct. We live within a capitalistic society that's based on fear and consumption. Fear that if I don't purchase this kind of steak, I'm not cool. If I don't wear these particular shoes or pants, she's not gonna like me. If I don't get this teeth whitener or this, that, and the other, I'm not gonna get laid. It's a lot of these things are based in fear,
right
and a lot of times the love process, has been co-opted by fear and consumption.
right
Now you have
turn the lights up. We need to get, turn the
18
lights
year old.
up. Turn the lights up. We need to get Mr. Best inside. We need to get Cyrell inside. Turn the lights up. We need 5 more, please. Flowers, please show them how to get up here. Thank you very much. Sorry for that.
Yeah, you good. We got 18, 19-year-olds, 19-year-old young brothers. Sakat Fetleski, right? And my Haitian brother in the chat. You have 18, 19-year-old brothers that's, doing whatever they can do to go get them a Gucci or Louis belt, $500-$700. You have girls that are maybe 2 years older than them that are not respecting the guy that's not going to be able to get them that Birkin or get them laced up or put them in a Montclair in the winter or whatever the case may be. We've been training, these generations are actually this generation that's here. They're actually the most prosperous and they're actually the most efficient. They're actually the ones that are able to know how to flip a buck from the mud. These are some smart kids. These are some smart kids. I got a 22-year-old son. These are brilliant kids in this generation right now. But what's happening is we're not seeing the prosperity and the GNP and all of that GDPY because of the fact that we're so consumerized. They're getting the money earlier. They're raising the minimum wage better than it was in our time. But what's happening is they're being consumed by consumerism. So, you remember Buju Banton? He said that song talking about, what is it? Spending a dime while earning a nickel, right? That's what our society has become. We're being consumed by consumerism. And it's already co-opted the love process. The thing is, now we're forced, the guys like us that may be more practical, right? We're forced to be more creative with the love now, because at some point, these fools are pricing love out of the market.
Turn the lights up. Turn the lights
You know
up.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they pricing love out the market. I'm like, damn. I remember when they had the chart that said this is the price of a wedding ring or engagement ring. This is the price, and it's based on your salary. I'm like some IRS, like an IRS scale. Right. So
what's the scale for a ring? What's the scale for a ring? Isn't it like 1/5 of your total income or something?
1/3 of your
1/3
of your yearly income. If engagement ring is 1/3 of your yearly income, and everybody knows the story of what the Bears did to make you think that engagement ring is part of the process of marriage. It actually was the biggest marketing scheme that women have subscribed to. But we as men do it because we want peace and we are part of society, and we want our women to feel that they are part of a society of men that appreciate them. But technically,
or a Stockholm syndrome.
No, but technically, that is a fairly new thing, the engagement ring. If you look at the history of marriage, it's fairly new. I mean,
Yeah.
fairly new. And we could talk about that at another time. But Sharon said 3 months salary. I heard 1/3, so it's different, you know.
So that's 3 or 4 months. That's so y'all only a month
So
off.
it's a quarter, yeah, it's like 1/3.
Yeah.
1/3.
Split the difference.
So Mr. Best, what do you have to say about this?
Yes, I'm a touch on some key points, but first I got to give y'all definitely y'all flowers, man. Shout out to
Thanks,
Chef,
man.
shout out to E Black TV, my
Thank you.
guy.
My
You know what I mean?
guy.
Shout out to King. You know what I'm saying? That
Thank
book
you.
is amazing, brother. Amazing book, and
Thank
definitely
you.
shout out to the whole New York, man. Whole New York, whole tri-state. You know how we do. You know what I'm
That's it.
saying? Definitely. See you repping to Columbia. I see you. Yeah, man. I actually did debate tournaments in Columbia too back in the day. That's what
Oh wow. We gotta talk.
um,
We gotta talk more. Like I said, I apologize for not making show. Our show went over. If I had known that earlier, I would have tried to. I apologize.
Oh no, it's all right, brother. It's all good. It's all good.
But
Um,
at the end of this, look, what we do is we have speakers come for each segment, so we give everybody a chance to talk. So, but at the end, you just type your stuff with your show on the chat room, and then Maricela is gonna post it up so other people can see it. Okay? If you don't
most
mind.
definitely, most definitely,
All right.
most
Thank you.
definitely,
Thank you.
definitely. Thank you, bro. Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
All right.
I'm gonna touch on a few points. I'm gonna touch on the Holly weird in their relationships. Then I'm gonna touch on this whole engagement thing. Now, this is what we have to understand. With Hollywood relationships, a lot of these relationships are contracted. They have different agreements that none of us in this room are probably gonna ever have with any other woman or any other person. Okay? For example, look at Will and Jada. Allegedly they have an agreement to do certain things. You know what I'm saying? Now they ran him into a situationship with August Alsina because he broke the agreement, and then once he broke the agreement, they gave him the boot. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? So we understand when it comes to a lot of the Holly weird relationships, it's a whole different mindset than what we're thinking.
Right.
They're thinking about a bunch of other stuff that we have that we're not even thinking about because they are in a different tax bracket. They are living a different type of lifestyle. I'm not saying nobody on here got paper. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is that they have access to money and resources that most of us just don't have. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? But you can't you can't basically try to live a life. You can't live your reality based on someone else's reality.
Turn the lights up. Turn the lights up.
I
Their
like
reality
that.
is different from your reality. You live in this type of neighborhood
Right.
with these type of stores and this type of environment and this type of demographic and these type of resources. Until those things change, or until you're able to change those things through your hard work, or maybe through your parents, providing a certain lifestyle for you or certain resources for you, then guess what? You're going to be in that community.
Right.
You know what I mean? Until you find resources, or maybe a spouse who lives in a different community, and you start to live with that person, and you experience something different. But until then, you will be a part of that community and a part of that demographic. That's just what it is. Because you don't have resources sometimes to get yourself out of that. Now,
Right.
once you have those resources and you have that, let's say you have that degree, you have that job experience, and now you're able
Right.
to change the environment. Of course, you're going to react and do that. Anybody's going to do that. If you have
Right.
the opportunity to be better, you're going to do better. Now, with that, yes, you'll have your moments where you want to splurge and buy jewelry and buy a nice car. Okay, cool, whatever, man. I'm not tripping off that. We all have our moments. You look, enjoy your life. Have that one summer, 2 summers, man, where you just wilding. Okay, cool. I don't mind, man. Be yourself. Enjoy your life. Life is to be enjoyed. You know what I mean? But understand that also you have to have responsibility in life too. You know what I mean? So you got to have both. And understand in responsibility comes a level of maturity. So yeah, you may not be mature to handle certain things at a certain point, but you have to understand that you have to get to that point. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That your mindset has to get there. You know what I mean? You have to put the work in. And if you don't understand something, ask for help, ask for guidance. You know what I mean? And if you put yourself out there, especially with technology, you will find the right resources. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Find the right resources without even talking to somebody. You can
Right.
type something on YouTube and find all the information you want. You can find videos on something that you like. Okay, how do I cook a steak? You type into YouTube, YouTube will tell you how to cook a whole steak. You ain't never
Right.
cooked anything. You know what I'm saying? So there's different resources that you have. You know what I'm saying? Now sometimes yes, mental health, emotional health, spiritual health, those are all factors as well. You know what I mean? So definitely take that in consideration. If you need therapy, you need help, definitely go for it. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, nobody's shunning that as well. Now to get to this whole engagement process and everything else, listen. And this is I gotta speak to men on this. Listen, men.
Yes, turn the likes up. Please turn the likes up because he's telling you his truth. He's telling you some gems. Get the likes up. We are 68 right now. We need 70, 75. Get the likes up because this is just start. We're just starting right now. Sorry to cut you off, Mr. Best.
No, you good.
I have to encourage my community garden, the rocks and the flowers, to let them know that we're about to get real spicy. We want people to know what's going on. At the end of
Hmm.
the day, we are going to once again touch on sensitive subjects. This is just a light appetizer, and we're grateful to have Mr. Best to take it to uncover this little appetizer and unpack it the way he's doing. Thank you so much.
Definitely, definitely. Thank you, King. Thank you.
And don't forget to put your stuff in the chat, please, so she can post
Oh,
it
I
up.
won't. I won't. I got you. I got you.
All right.
And
Soon as I'm rocking out, I got you.
folks,
Um,
make sure you hit subscribe and you tap on that bell and tap all so you receive notifications. You may end up getting some brainstorming sessions going, a couple of meetings, a couple of different things going on that we may drop in. So, and they may be last minute, but a lot of times we move organically. So if you want to be a part of that, just hit the bell so you're in tune. Your spidey sense gonna hit notification on your phone, and you
Right.
know we're live. Maybe it'll be lunch break. Never know.
It may be a lunch break. You might have. I might take you to the strip club. Or actually, I'm going to Harvard Club in New York City for a meeting on Friday. I might take you there. See, this is what we do. So I just want you to tune in, please subscribe because you don't know what's going to happen for me. This is new to me. I'm learning
Mhm.
it, but I'm not afraid to show my life. I have nothing to hide. So, Mr. Best, please finish your thought. I apologize once again, please.
no, it's fine.
Well,
It's fine. It's fine. I want y'all brothers. This your platform. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm
We
I'm,
got
I'm just here to
69.
just
Can we get 70? Can we get 75? Come on.
definitely turn the likes up, y'all. Turn the likes and subscribes up, man. Come on.
Thank you. Turn the lights on.
Um,
Mr. Best,
Now
let me
as
ask
far
you
as
a
engagement,
question. Let me ask you a question.
who me?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
You spoke about the idea that, we watch TV, social media has kind of pushed the envelope on why we spend so much, right? Is that the parents' fault or is that society's fault? Shouldn't the
Um,
shouldn't the expectation be brought upon the parent, you know, telling you, hey, as a father, man, you're gonna have to work for yours. You can't shortcut it.
yeah, bro. Most definitely. It should be definitely on the parents. But remember, parental households are so much different than what we probably seen growing up, man. You know what I mean? Like you don't know what that kid growing up seeing, or who they growing up following, or what that person is instilling in them as far as their values and their beliefs. So yeah. So I know some parents that be letting their kids watch some wild stuff. I'm like, yo, but that's how they get down. That's how the household gets down. So definitely it's up to the parent. But see, here's the thing. Yes, society should take more responsibility. They should, but they don't have to. You know, I think we were spoiled by the Muhammad Ali's. We were spoiled. You know what I'm saying? We had a man that came in that was a great athlete, but he also was a social activist. We never really had nothing like that, you know, in mainstream media in a long time. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, yeah, should everybody be like a Muhammad Ali or, like a Jim Brown to speak out and say different things? Of course, we should. They should do it. They don't have to though. And that's the tricky part about it. You know what I mean? They could just be an entertainer and just entertain you and let that be enough. You know what I'm saying? It's sad, but it's true. You know what I mean? They really don't owe us anything, honestly. You know what I'm saying? I mean, do I feel no? Do I feel like they owe? Yeah, they do owe. They do owe. I'm gonna take it back. They do owe because somebody paved the way for them. So of course they owe, but they don't have to do it. You know what I mean? So it's a difference. They do owe, but they don't have to do it. And that's the crazy part about it.
Turn the lights
Um,
up.
back to the engagement thing. Hope I answer your question, E Black. You know what I'm saying? I love your Tupac poster too, man. Like it's so hard every time I see it, man. But yeah, back to the engagement thing. Listen to the men. You know what I mean? I'm not even speaking to the men on this panel because y'all got your things straight. So I ain't even got to talk to y'all about this. But to the men who are listening, listen, stop. You know what I mean? Just doing things for these females and they haven't earned anything. They haven't brought nothing to the table. You're doing everything and not bringing anything to the table. You're buying all these things. You're investing in all these different rings and things. And this woman won't even cook you. She won't even make you a Pop-Tart. Like, it's like, come on, man. Like, she ain't doing nothing for you. You know what I mean? But you wanna invest all this time and effort and resources and money towards her. You know, and then you also have to have if you can't have a conversation with your woman and say, listen, we gotta value the things that are important. Let's value, let's value our health.
Right.
Let's value the time that we spend, with the family members who are older. Let's
Turn the
value
lights up. Turn the lights up.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, turn the lights up. You know what I mean? Let's value the things that are actually important in life. You know what I mean? Clothes and how your hair is did and all that. That's gonna come.
Absolutely.
If you're a real man, that's gonna come. That's easy. That's nothing. You know what I'm saying? That's not something
That's
to
a
go out
tough balance. I'll say
You
this.
don't
I'll
mind,
say
you
this.
don't mind working.
Hey, I'll say that's a tough balance because if you want to attract sometimes the highest value females, sometimes you gotta spend the 100. Well, it used to be in my day a little cheaper, but now 1,500 for the Cuban. They want to see the Rolex.
Hey, you said
Well,
They
you
want to
said you
see.
said the highest value. You said the
Yeah.
highest value. So
well, you said, hold
I
on,
gotta understand that criteria.
hold on. Before we go any further, we have to invite the most noble,
She ready to ride.
the most validated,
Oh,
the most official. And I want to break this down because when I invite this person, he completes the four horsemen of YouTube. You know me, I'm the truth. I'm going to say what I say. It might not be time sensitive, but it's the truth. We have Chef. He's the voice of reason. He brings balance to our show. You have E Black, the charismatic individual that sets the tone for the message. I'm still mad at him for bringing Shannon, but I still love him though.
Mhm.
And I wish, I love you though. You know I'm fucking with you.
Everybody getting it.
Yeah, everybody get it. And then we have Daryl, and Daryl said when Shan comes up in the four horsemen, he gonna have problems. But we have Daryl now, and Daryl, if we have me the truth, you have Chef the voice of reason, and you have the charisma with E Black. Daryl represents the one word that completes our four horsemen, which is accountability. He holds everybody accountable.
Mm.
He holds everybody accountable.
Wow.
So when he comes on this stage, be mindful of what you say, because you will be held accountable. I give the warning. E Black tries to make it, he tries to smooth it out. And Chef is going to give you reasoning as much as possible. But if you don't hear it after that, this man holds you accountable. What's up, brother? Talk to us.
What's going on,
Terrell, what
brothers?
it do?
What's good,
going
my
on,
guy?
Biggie? What's going on, E Black? I've been seeing your face so much, E Black, lately.
Yeah, damn.
What's going on, King?
What's up, brother?
Man, I've been working a lot, man. I got a video that's gonna blow your mind. You know what?
Oh
I've been
man,
working on these time stamps, and
you're right.
for the last 12 hours, brother. Oh my God.
Oh man,
I knew it. I knew it.
we knew we were gonna come in. Shannon's gonna come in later on, and so we're gonna need y'all to mediate because me and him gonna have to parlay. Because we in like we and him went at it, but we frat brothers, so it's always gonna be love. But we're gonna go at it in front of the group, the crew, the garden. It's gonna be love. It's gonna stay within social media, but we want y'all to mediate it, and you let us know who's right, who's wrong, and if it can't be resolved, it's cool. We still got love for each other, right? Just from a distance.
No doubt.
You know what I'm saying? Because you're gonna hold us accountable, right?
Shout out to my, she's a fine, beautiful sister that came through last. Was it yesterday or the day before?
That was yesterday.
Man, it
Woo.
felt like if she came through and she set it on fire.
Right.
She elevated her. She is a higher elevation, elevated vibration, man.
Where's
That
she
was
at? Where's my? She's here now.
Mayat. She's
All
in
right, I
the
can post that
she's
up.
in the
Okay,
chat as
perfect,
well.
perfect. All right, so listen, we're gonna end this segment right now. Please, Mr. Best, put your information so Maricela can post it up, and we're gonna
Yeah,
move.
I'm gonna definitely do that once I bounce out. But yeah, thank y'all for having me on. I appreciate it, King. You already know what it is, man. Salute,
Thank you.
salute to Brownsville, salute to Brooklyn.
That's
Salute
right.
to all New York, and I'm definitely out, y'all.
Never ran, never
Peace
will.
and blessing.
Thanks for
Never
coming
ran, never
through,
Appreciate you.
family.
will.
Yes, sir. You know, it never ran, never will. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Peace and
Brown.
blessings.
BK, stand up.
All right, listen.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so we here now. We're gonna touch on the second subject matter. I need more likes. Right now we at 74, 75. That's cool. But I like the double likes. I like to have more. I like to have 114 before we go into the next stage because we're gonna get more intense. And we have a lot of surprises. We might go a little bit over today because I really wanna we really wanna have this talk with Shannon. Because he represents the Lapeef Network. He represents Active Black Man, anything. He represents a lot of things. But does he represent the truth? Oh, no, that wasn't a rhetorical question. That was a question for everybody. I'm fucking with y'all. At the end of the day, bottom line is we need to make sure that people are held accountable for what they say or do, even me, because sometimes I might be wrong. I might be wrong. Not all the time, but sometimes, right? A few times. So at the end of the day, please, people come on the stage right now. We have Daryl, and we want to make sure that he knows what's going on, and everybody loves Maya energy. We're going to definitely bring up for this one. So the next topic is, and it's gonna get a little bit sensitive. So I want everybody to understand that this is not something. Please, Maricela, put up the disclaimer. We don't want no lawsuits. We don't want no issues. Pull up the disclaimer, please. Thank you. Pull up the disclaimer. We just want to make sure all the flowers, we don't mean any harm by this. All the rocks, we don't mean any harm by this. For those who don't know, who just came in the room, rocks are men, we are solid, and flowers are women. We are the community garden, and we have a garden of nothing but love, peace, and truth and growth. Once again, all jokes aside, the following content may be identified as offensive and or sensitive to the audiences. No bullying, body shaming will be tolerated. Please seek help from a health professional. With that being said, I don't mind one or two fat jokes, but it's okay. I won't say anything. You feel me? Does height really matter to women, and does weight really matter to men? This is an issue, and we're gonna. It's fun. It's a fun issue to talk about before we talk about the real subject matter that we're gonna get to when we get to 100 likes. Um, Fellas, does height mean anything to women? Because I hear women all the time say, "Hey man, I need tall, dark, light, or handsome," but it's always tall and it's always handsome. But they never want to change up. And according to statistics, only 16% of men in the world, if you correct me, are over 6 feet tall. So with that being said, what are they trying to say? Do women really care about height? Do they really care about height? We need some flowers on here to give us some intel on that. Do women really care about height? Because to me, I think it's very ridiculous. First of all, I'm 6'1". I'm 6'1", so that's not an issue with me. But it's ridiculous because height is one of the few things a man can't change. What does height have to do with character? What does height have to do with transparency? What does height have to do with accountability? What does height tell you about a man and his skills, parenting skills? What does height show about a man's finances? What does it show? Many women who I dealt with always say, I understand that, you're right, but when I'm with someone taller, it makes me feel protected. There's a lot of soft ass tall dudes.
Yep. They
So
float
what?
like trees.
Dave, you sound kind of short, man. So tell me what's going on. You like you jumped out. What's going on, man?
Nah, I'm 6 foot.
Okay,
I
okay,
passed the barometer.
okay. So talk to me.
You,
So how do you feel about that?
a part of me wants to say, yeah, tall height does matter to women. You know, it's it's a very vague, taboo way of women saying they want protection. However, in practice, I do not see it truly being practiced. You know, I think women a lot of times they will say, "Hey, I want a tall guy," but then the short guy they end up marrying. You see, you can look at a lot of these married women's marriage photos. They be the same height. It'd be looking like they both be standing on a cake. So, you know, I think in practice and in theory, a lot of women say, you know, hey, I want this type of dude, I want that. They don't, first of all, want to compete for them type of dudes. And secondly, in practice, once a guy with principle and somebody who attracts them approaches them, the height thing goes out the window. So
Mm. Mm. Okay. Darren, what you think, brother?
I think it all depends on like in what kind of situation we're talking about, right? Because
Oh, hold on. Sorry, brother. It's 14.5% of the world that's over 6 feet. Thank you, KRM. Thank you. Sorry for that.
nothing to apologize about. But it all depends on the context because I'm in a good guy. I'm in a good mood today. You know, the smoke is still gonna be the smoke, but I'm just such in a good mood, man. Look,
right now, look, we need to we need to put this on a timer right now because
Right.
no real talk. But if we talking about dating, I think it's about preferences, right? That's like assuming that every woman like being made to every woman being love being made love to the same way. I don't want to use the F word, but y'all get where I'm going. Women like different positions. Everything about them is preference, right? Height. I just don't think that that's something that we need to correlate to, like you said, character, et cetera, et cetera. Because it's funny. Yeah. Shout out to A Money. Shout out to Ariel. But listen, I don't think that height has never held me back. I'm only 5'6", right?
Right.
Height has never held me back from nothing. You know, from women, from fighting, et cetera, nothing. I think it's about your character and what's up here and what's in your heart. I think those things matter more, right? But there's some people who do believe that height correlates with protecting people, right? So there's some people that do believe that if you're taller, if you're bigger, that a woman would believe that you can protect them more, right? And I just don't believe that none of that shit is true, man. I feel like when it comes to your character and what you about, that matters more than anything else. You got to remember, like one of the best prize fighters of all time is Floyd is 5'6", 130,
Right.
140 soaking wet. How many 6'4" guys gonna walk up to Floyd no problem? Like you know what I mean? I don't think so. People say that. People talk, but I don't think so. I don't think so.
Okay. In regards to height, chef, in height, just height right now. We're gonna talk about the second question later. Chef.
Nature versus nurture. No, I'm here. I'm here.
Okay. Okay.
I was just pausing for dramatic effect. You know what I mean? Damn.
he got that Rico pause. he said he was gonna get that
I had to lick
Rico.
my lips like LL Cool J. I've been practicing. But seriously, instinctually, first things first. I believe that when some women are able to articulate, and this is not all women, please. When some of our flowers are able to articulate the fact that they instinctually feel safer in the protection of a taller man, I tend to question that because instinct is instinct. It's not controlled by thought process. I can't tell myself I'm gonna stop breathing from 9:10 p.m. to 9:14. No, my body's gonna rage against that. Instinct and thought process are two different things. So I tend to question when people start to speak towards their natural instinct. Oh yeah, by the way, I'm 5'11" and 3.26298 centimeters tall. Right? You know what I mean? I passed the 6-foot mark when I got my phone posits on. But anyway, the safety thing, I don't think it's real. I don't think it's real. I've seen a lot of different folks that could have provided some of the best safety, safer than somebody that was tall. I don't believe that height makes a difference. Now, what I do believe, here's the part that I really believe. When they say the instinct part, I think that's garbage. That's not real. It's an excuse. All right. It's fake. I believe that just like the Birkin bag, just like the Gucci bag, the Louis bag, having a tall man is something that is considered aesthetically pleasing. And if these beautiful flowers that we're discussing are victims of the consumerism and the need to have all of those things, then they're also going to want to complement that image and make it a full-fledged image where they're going to have the big 6 foot tall, 6-pack, 16-incher, whatever the hell they want to do. You know, they're going. It's all part of the hierarchy. You know what I mean? It's all part of it. He has to have the good car, the nice car. He has to have the big house, the resources. And a lot of times it's for show. It's for show because society has put certain things onto our flowers that kind of makes them feel that if they do not have this, they are not worthy. So are they really chasing those things because they need them? Or are they chasing those things because they require a certain amount of validation? You know, so what came first, chicken or the egg? I don't know. Is it, society to stop the requirement for that validation, or does it start in the home? I think it starts on both sides, but that height thing, it's BS, man. It's BS. I mean, if you go back to the tribes, you got the Dinka tribe, you got the Maasai, and
The Watusis and Tutsis, they were
and then
different heights.
Watusis, right? There's very short tribes in Africa, and those men were powerful warriors that commanded ultimate respect.
Right.
So
Even European culture, the Romans, the best soldiers were short because they were close to the ground. So this is a fact. So most warriors,
so they can punch you in the nuts.
And even
because they were close. They were strategically, when you're fighting somebody, you want to be you want to be lower than them.
Right. They had the lowest center of gravity.
And even in football, aren't the cornerbacks shorter? Aren't the running back shorter?
Fullbacks, yep.
Right.
Yeah. So it really doesn't matter. Like I think, like I said, it is probably just a vague, just taboo thing that women have just really participate, and they perpetuate it. Let's not be honest. We didn't get this idea by ourselves. We got to hold them a little bit accountable and let them know, hey, you guys, you made the short dude have to be a clown just to get you in view.
All right, so now we're going to Marcella, put the warning up again, because now we're going to go to the real part 2 of this discussion, and I want the flowers to come up, and we need a flower in the room to make sure that they keep this thing balanced. Marcella, please put the warning. The second question, and I want everybody. This is where it's going to get real, and you could go back to the first question of the second topic of tonight. All jokes aside, the following content may be identified as offensive and or sensitive to some audiences. No bullying, body shaming will be tolerated. Please seek help from a health professional. So with that being said, we're going to talk about men. How important is weight on women? Mind you, let me throw this out there. You guys have no nerve to tell a woman how much she weighs because you don't give birth. I'm just acting like the ladies. For right now. Let me know, flowers, if I'm doing a good job. How can you tell me you don't know what a woman goes through, her hormonal issues? How dare you? You don't know if I have other issues. How are you so critical of my weight? Yes, I can control my weight. It's not like height, but you got to be a little bit sensitive to my weight. How important is weight to men? For me, I like my woman to look fit, whether there's natural or surgery. I don't care. I don't care. I like them to look a certain way, and I know women have different body types. So you could be hourglass or you could be slim. I just want you to be the best you can be. That's just my opinion. Fellas, chime in.
All right, who gonna die on the sword first, man?
Chime in. Chime
I'm
in.
waiting.
Give me some
That
more
po-
likes. Chime in. We almost at 100. Give me 100. Let's get to
I
100.
say I go there.
Yeah.
I go there real quick, man. Let me say this. Again, this is all about
Let's get
what the
100.
person wants, right? This is all about preference. My preference is I want somebody who match my energy. So I go to the gym. I try to eat healthy. I eat salads. I eat I drink protein shakes, etc., etc. I go on walks regularly, like regularly. You know what I'm saying? Middle of the night, wake up, go on a walk, miles. For me, it's not just about looking good. It's about, for us, the older we get, we got to keep our stamina up. We got to keep our libido strong, right? So in order to do that, we must watch what we eat. I watched the show with Shannon. Shout out to Shannon. Um, he said we cut in the fucking kitchen and we cut in the gym and we lose weight in the kitchen, right? I don't even bring him up because I know we're gonna talk to him later. But my whole point is that, like, I try to eat healthy. I try to watch what I eat. I think probably the only bad habit I might have is smoking, but I don't consider that a bad habit either. In my state, it's recreational, especially where I'm at, East Lansing. So for me, it's all about preference. And I just want somebody who is feminine and in shape and can match what I want, right? For some dudes, they want a voluptuous woman. They don't care if she got a little bit of rose. They don't care about none of that. And for the most part, I don't either. But what I don't want you to do is get into a situation where you're comfortable with me being uncomfortable.
Ooh.
Yeah, then we got a
I
problem,
like. I'm gonna use that. I'm definitely using that.
my guy.
Turn the lights up. E Black, talk to me.
Um, I'm gonna put it to you like this. If you go to Walmart right now, you'll see a lot of heavyset women with men. So I don't really think it's as important as we kind of put it. Shout out to Kevin Samuels. He's really set the bar high on telling women what we actually do prefer. But I will say, a lot of dudes out here, they got some chicks that, we all know the spandex can only do so much. So, and we being real about it. Like let's be real about it. Everybody ain't got fit chicks. Come on now. Everybody ain't got the chick with the tummy tuck. So I mean, I understand the idea that most men would like women like that. Everybody wants what they want, just like with the height, with the women. Everybody wants what they want. But in reality, what I'm seeing today is that men are still settling for the type of chicks.
Hold on. You said settling?
Yeah,
Damn. Why
because
you said
if your standard is fit chicks, then you're obviously settling for something that's not.
E Black chose violence today. He
Because
chose
like
violence.
this whole notion that because I get it. I get it. We all want fit chicks. We all want the model. We go to the club. We see the three girls on the bar. We all know what they look like, draped up in their clothes, and then we get the center of the mall, the center of the club. There's the thin chicks. But who do most likely do you see the guys leaving with? We acting like big girls ain't getting it. And I'm not saying that we should aspire for our standards to be that way, but let's be on the real. Women, no matter what size they are, as long as there's feminine and sexual, they have an opportunity with most men.
Damn.
And
Man,
I know I'm wild, but let's just cut it.
yeah, but I don't think they felt the settling part. You said they were settling.
Oh, okay. I apologize.
No
Well, I'm
apologize.
saying,
That's what you said.
what I mean is that by the standards that most men say that they want, then obviously they're settling.
Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm.
Let's get it, man. That's
Let's
like
get it. We on
we
today.
not.
We told violence to the yo. Turn up the lights. We're about to get real spicy because I got more questions in regards to this issue. But we want to hear, last but not least, Chef. Tell me what you got on your mind before I ask the real questions.
So I get where you're coming from, E Black.
Turn the lights
But
up.
the thing is, the settle part, it kind of threw me for a loop too, right? So what's funny is, in terms of this particular topic we're going to talk, you know, I spent a lot of time in the industry, a lot of time around, and I've dealt with, you know, different shapes and sizes of beautiful women. And, you know, I thought I had a type until I saw the next type. You know, back in the day, you know, my ex used to say, "You're a scary dude," because I couldn't figure out if you was cheating on me because you ain't who you was gonna cheat with, because you don't even have a type, right? I always remember that. You don't have a type. I didn't have a type. I may have a type that I think. Remember that I believe that the type of person that you lean towards is more instinctual. You don't have a type. The type of people that you. Echo.
Whoever has the,
Somebody echo.
cut it off, please. We can't hear. Press mute. Press mute. Press mute. Thank you. Press mute. You gotta press mute. You gotta press mute. Hello. Can you press mute? You got mute. Everybody, if you're not talking, press mute. If you're not talking, press mute on your camera. Thank you. Press mute. Can they hear me? Press mute. Okay, you good now?
We good.
All right.
So our types, it's like it's more. I believe that it's more instinctual than it is a decision kind of thing. You know, I thought that I had a type until I saw the new type. You know, I was with someone that looked a certain way, and I thought that the looks that I was going to, of the women that I would be with, would end up being at least within a certain, you know, within a certain range, a certain way. Until I got slapped around by this weird, crazy thing called love. Okay? It changes all of the shit. Love makes you do shit that you ain't never done before. It makes you do shit you don't want to do. Love makes you fall into the Stockholm Syndrome crisis. It's all kind of stuff. It was love. So the woman that I went to after the person that I was with is a larger lady. You get what I'm saying? And that person loves me in a way where all of the other shit doesn't matter, you know? And you're talking to a man that they would say would have options and all of that. But that was my best option. At some point, we all gonna start looking. You're gonna get a hump in your back. You're gonna start to shrink. Your toenails gonna get thick. You're gonna walk funny. You smell funny. Whatever the case may be. At some point, life is going to touch us all. Life is going to touch us all. So the stuff that's going to be the most important is what I'm going to keep the most important. I used to, and I think I can't remember who it was, if it was my act, where I said the desire for a certain breast size or a certain booty size, you know, in a certain proportion. That was something that I chased at a certain particular point in time. You get what I'm saying? At this point, I see things in a different perspective, and it doesn't take away from anybody else that has their desire, man. You know, it has nothing to do with anyone else that has their specific set of desires. But at this point in life, I don't know how long I'm going to be on this planet, and I choose to love with my eyes closed, you know, because when you do that, the person that you're with is more beautiful than any motherfucking chick you can see. Funny. It takes over your mind. It takes over your eyes. It takes over your heart. It takes over all of that. You know, so that's that. that love thing kind of dismantles a lot of our frontal lobe thought process and instinct as well.
So the question before we ask Terry this question, and we want to say thank you, Terry, for coming on. She's such an amazing. She's one of my favorite Korean designers. She's one of the best designers in New York City. Super talented, super talented. This lets you know the type of people I'm around. I'm around people that are highly successful and highly motivated, and really. And she's also a disruptor. She tells you how she feels, and it's the craziest thing. She has no censor, so she's gonna let you know the truth, and hopefully you can handle it. But I want to ask Chef a question. Chef, so the question to you is that, do you believe if you are an evolved man, weight shouldn't matter?
Within the dynamic, if I'm an evolved man, of course, weight, and I have to give a caveat because health
Turn
is
the lights
important.
up. Turn the lights up because he's about to turn up. Turn the lights up. Turn the lights up. We need 100 right now. We need 100. Turn the lights up. Thank you. And subscribe. We need 100. Turn the lights up and subscribe. Thank you.
So we definitely, I'm not going to ignore the fact that weight and your body mass index definitely has an impact on your health and preventing certain diseases that exist. I do believe that we always have to be conscious of the health aspect. Okay. So let's make believe you met someone that was obese, right? Does it mean that that's the equivalent because it's considered a disease, right? Would it be, what if somebody met you and you happen to be missing a limb? Would those two people be less capable of showing love? Would those people be less capable of expressing love? I don't know. Who knows? Maybe the pain and the stress they've gone through in their life, they may be able to express love a little deeper, a little stronger, and from a different level, a more unconditional level, because society might have kept them alone. That's something to think about. So, that's really all I got, man. I do believe the health. I do believe the health part plays a difference, though, without question. Because if you love them, you want them there longer.
Right. So that's how you feel about what Wake Firefighter says. I don't know if I agree with that, but what do you think?
He says weight matters even more so for the evolved man. Watch this. Pay close attention to the words. And I said it already. I don't think you caught it. He said the last 3 words, I would think. He never loved a larger lady. He would think. You thinking about instinctual shit. You thinking about what it's going to look like. Maybe you think about what it's going to feel like. Who knows? But the thing is, I'm talking about how it happened to me. And I had no idea, but it happened and I was able to accept it. But if I felt in that way at this point in my life, I would not be able to feel the love that I feel now. I would not have the daughter that I have now. And I would not, my life and my level of understanding would not have an understanding in people and understanding in sacrifice. I didn't get that shit from anybody else. And I was engaged, no disrespect to anyone else. So you can sit down and write a piece of paper that says all of these things that you want in an individual, But when time comes, I wonder how long that list is going to be, or how old that's going to be when you get it or get her,
Hey, I got an extra comment I want about. You muted.
Yeah, I'm sorry,
but I got an extra
Go ahead.
I got an extra comment about that. If you ever watch that show, 600 Pound Life, all the women were married. So I mean, I'm just like, I understand a lot of like we have to take it out the science. We got to take it out the science class. We got to take it out the science class, and then we got to put it in objective reality. So I understand a lot of people saying weight matters, but that's in your own little cubby hole. But when we go out in objective reality, I'm not seeing that America is having the most obesity rate, and then we're still getting people married. Like, I'm sorry. I'm looking at these people's wedding poster pictures on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what do we, like? Sometimes, like, I don't like. I get it, but just
All right, so let me ask Terry this question. Terry, you being Korean, in your culture, does the weight of a woman matter with you dating? Because you date Koreans, you date any man that you find attractive. Doesn't have to be white, black, Asian. It doesn't matter to the men you date, and does it matter to you how tall a man is? So this is two questions. Does it matter to you? Because you're very healthy. You run like 8 miles every morning, like literally 10 miles every morning. So does it matter to you the height of a man? And does weight have a big impact on how people date within the Korean culture and how you date in America?
In Korean culture, the time that hi everybody first, and thank you for having me. And happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday.
Asian culture is a very, as far as I understand, I grew up with, it is very superficial. Um, Probably as much as Black community now, like such as comes to brand awareness, what brands you wear to hang with the who, etc., so on and so forth. Um, when you are in little young generation with less of a life experience, that's more acceptance in my view. However, when you have raising a family, running a business, your priority shifts, right? So for me, those things not really matter. Comes to height wise, I have dated a shorter man, and I decided not to do it again because a lot of times, no offense to any short man, it just is from my experience that it was not sexual bad experience, nothing like that. It just the this is, I think, regardless of height or weight. This is the problem that often I have experienced is man projects their insecurities in not nice way. It's very hard for men to be vulnerable and showing your insecurities in a clever way, and you projecting that in either we're trying to control your woman or how should I say, having a conversation about it, he always turn left. Um, so I think that is a big fact of it. Hence, because of my experience, I try to, regardless of your weight or height, I prefer someone who is really comfortable with their skin. Um, we all have insecurities for sure, but this is what God gave you. I mean, if you are not satisfied, so you go through surgery, so and so forth. I'm not knocking that either. If they give you self confidence, they give you motivation to do better, go right ahead. I'm not knocking that either. But it is an effort. It is actually you understand yourself and what energy, what level you are at. And I think that if that level is aligned with your opposite sex or same sex, whatever, however you are attracted to, I think that's where we should start rather than try to prove a point. Oh,
Right.
I'm this and I'm that. Put those, in my view, a kind of petty stuff on the table and try to make something out of it.
Hmm. Hmm. Okay, how y'all feel about that, fellas? So Dow, you smiled a couple of times. How you feel about that?
I mean, that is my opinion.
I think that I think that everything she said was right. I took no fault to nothing that she said. I feel that in every culture we bring a little like for example, you guys were talking about the Caribbean culture. For me, I bring like what I would consider Detroit culture, right?
Right.
I think we bring a little bit of the best things from our culture to this American society, right? So for me, I understood what Chef was saying. That's what I was really thinking about a lot. Cause I'm reading the comments and everybody talking about them, and I feel like a lot of stuff is still just preference, man. Because for me, it's not just about not wanting a woman who's bigger because of how it looked. It's like I said too. It's about health. So I talked about the kind of food that I eat, et cetera, et cetera. Like, what am I? If we're going grocery shopping, right, for example, and you picking up fucking Pringles and all kinds of different stuff, and I'm getting frozen fruit, et cetera, et cetera. I'm committing to really in the long term, right? You don't want a husband who can't make love to you. In the long term, you don't want a husband who can't move and who can't walk a mile, et cetera, et cetera. So
Hold
it
on,
takes
hold
the
on,
work
hold on. I
now.
know. Hold on. I heard this is correct me if I'm wrong. This is some myths. Correct me if I'm wrong. I heard big men actually be tearing up women during sex. I heard they get busy during sex, and I heard that skinny women actually can take more pain during sex than thick women.
You know what? I can confirm from for like the skinny
Yo,
woman
on that
stuff, but
note,
I
I'm gonna
don't know
take a
about the big
nature break.
dudes.
I'm take a nature break on
Right,
that one. I'm gonna let E Black close out that conversation.
right. That's what I heard.
I think Chef
Let's
trying to
leave it
set me
that
up.
shit.
I know. Chef really throwing an alley oop to try to set me
Right.
up. I see what you're doing, my guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Got him.
but the I'm flustered now. But
Yeah, I confirmed that. That's confirmed. Okay, I
I
just want to make sure because the myth is that big men can't have sex, but I heard women told me that big men actually have sex better, and I also heard that skinny women actually can take more. I'm not trying to go for the tangent. I'm just asking a question. I don't know. The flowers guy answer that. What do you think, ladies? Ladies are the flowers. Let me know. What do you think? Is that true? You're the only flower on the stage, Terry. Is that true?
I never dated overweight man. I do not know. It's not by choice or anything. I mean, don't get me wrong. In past, my relationship, my partner gained a lot of weight, but it didn't really affect our sexual relationship.
Right.
When you're in a certain relationship, the shell disappears in a way. But when you start to disconnect, then the flaws start to show. If that makes
Mm,
sense.
yes. Yes.
When you and fall in love, all flaws become durable, acceptable, tolerable. You make excuse for them. But when the connection gets departed, now all of them, things that you didn't even notice, start to show off. So I think it depends on what stage you are in with your partner. When it starts to show, and when you have honest and vulnerable conversation to make each other better, then you're going somewhere. But if you take it on both parties, be offensive or defensive, then it's very hard to.
Okay. Okay. E Black.
I'll be like this. It really don't matter. I think every woman's sexual peak is just uniquely different. Every man has their own tricks of the trade, and
Right.
if you don't know how to use your tool, then you're not gonna be the best representative for your, you know, weight class. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I'm pretty sure a lot of women in the chat right now have messed with some skinny dudes who ain't throwing it down. Some dudes out here, we gonna say, hey, some of these skinny females ain't really, they not what I'm looking for right now. So I'm trying to keep it PG. So
Right. Keep it PG, but keep it honest.
yeah. So I think it's just that's the one thing I don't want to be on the fence about, but I do think it is each individual's sexual prowess.
Right. Okay. Chef is back just in time. We're about to end this subject and we're about to go to the last subject. So, we just want to end this real quick. So we came to I think the consensus is it's a preference thing. What you like is what you like, but do not make societal pressures of appearing to be happy affect your personal choice and happiness. Most evolved people choose people that fulfill them or add value to their purpose. It has nothing to do with the aesthetics, but one should not be castrated or ostracized because they like what they like. And I think we came to that solution. And I love this group because we always come to a solution. Thank you, Terry, so much for giving your honest opinion. If you want to stay on, you can. And we want some other flowers to come on. And we're going to talk about the real topic today. We almost at 100 likes. Let's get 100 likes, please. And I want everybody to really understand that the next topic is a very real topic, and it's based from my book, and it's also the title of today. The title today is "Times Are Bad When Selling is the First Option." Let me read what I wrote, and tell me what y'all think. So it's Proclamations 48, and it says, "Due to a lack of quality mates, most individuals are starting to love the person they hate the least instead of the person they love the most." Let me say that again. Due to a lack of quality mates, most individuals are starting to love the person they hate the least instead of the person they love the most. Now, for those who didn't get that, let me break it down for you. There's this thing going out now where people believe that there's not enough quality people out there. So they deal with or accept someone that doesn't meet all their qualifications. So they love the person that they hate the least instead of being with the person that they love the most. So now that's why we have this title today. This title is about why is settling the new first option. Who wants to jump into that? Because we got a lot of things we're going to unpack with this. Who wants to jump into that?
So I can start first, man. I think that a lot of people settle because they don't really love themselves, right? When you love yourself, the only thing that I'm willing to accept is what I told you I'm willing to accept.
Right.
If you owe me $1, don't come to me with 99 cents. Don't come to me with 95 cents. If I told you this grape was 50 cents, I think you get the concept. Don't bring anything less than what I'm telling you to bring.
Give me
Right?
mine.
Yeah, because, for example, the reason why I don't like the idea of conditional femininity, right, to really put this into the perspective of the conversation,
Yes.
is because I can't be conditionally masculine, right? I can't say one day I want to take care of the kids and 1 month I don't. One day I want to be a man. One day, when we're walking down the street and somebody smack you, protect yourself, right? Because there's some people out there that do believe because women ask for equality and and feminism and equal rights that they deserve to protect themselves. I'm gonna get into that on my show. It's gonna get deep. But at the end of the day, I don't know. I just feel like you gotta match me, and not 50-50. We gotta go 100-100. You know what I mean? That's just how I am.
Right. So you don't subscribe to people dealing with someone they hate the least because you still believe that you can find a person that match you completely.
No doubt. I feel like if you are moving it with an energy, and I hate the word like this because some people not gonna understand it, but like the universe will bring you what you need. Right?
Yes.
The universe will bring you what you need. For every woman who doesn't go out and accept a man who's just, they know he's on bullshit, right? But whatever it is that he's providing for the moment, they accept it. And they accept the bullshit with it. That's just not something I'm willing to deal with. I don't want to deal with an unloyal person because she's beautiful or she got some good nanny or something like that. Or whatever it is. If it's not coming with what I told you to come with, you can keep it. And usually, like I told y'all on the first show, it works for me because if I tell a woman straight up, listen, she said that's harsh goodness. For me, if I tell a woman that I want a certain thing and she wants a certain thing, right? If she's saying, Mrs. Crown, if you come to me and say, I need you to be a man, I need you to make sure that I'm taken care of, I'm provided for, I'm committed to. How many months can I take off of that? How much time can I take off of that? I can't take no time off. So if I ask you to just match me on these things and I tell you up front the first day, you get all the rights to say what she's saying. That's harsh. I don't want to be involved. But the women that do, they reap the benefits of being attached to me. And if you want those benefits, if you feel like it's worth it, then cool, let's rock. If you don't, then I've given you the opportunity to walk away and to move into something that's more comfortable for you. That's all it is.
Here's the thing. That's easy for men to say, right? Because we don't have a biological clock. We could wait as long as we want to. As long as we have our money and maybe we could be in shape or not in shape, we could wait. But for the flowers in the room, the ladies in the room, the queens in the room, are you willing to accept less or the person you hate the least, because you can't wait for the person you love the most? Terry, what do you think?
I think it's a matter of a timing. Let's forget about the biological clock for women for a second. If your lack of experience, you are in mid-20s, early 20s, or however, you don't have that much, many of a dating experience, and this guy shows just such a devotion at that time, definitely you're going to fall for it because he's just showing you the love that you are expecting, and whether that was a fake or not, you're going to fall for it. And often, as a woman, once we are committed to something, we are on the journey with you. It just, for a lot of women, it takes a process to get there. It takes a little time. But often once we make the commitment, we want to pull through all the way. And once you have made that commitment, you know, in my situation, I went through all kinds of sailing experience with one man. And often I have to be a both sides, whether I have to be feminine, I have to be masculine, I have to switch around. You have to understand often, also I have to accept the fact that often men can be vulnerable as well. I cannot just project, oh, man has to be strong all the time. Man has to be protective of me all the time. No, if he's in the fight with something that not, let's say he's in the middle of an argument with a woman, that's not his place to argue back and forth with a woman. Then I jump in. We are a team together. So things like that. I think it's time of the individual's stage where they are at. If you are in successful, educated, traveled a lot, experienced a lot, seen a lot, witnessed a lot of stuff, you're going to choose differently. But you are closeted. You don't have that much of experience, kind of naive in a good way. Then you're going to choose whatever you believe that there is to be. So it was never a matter of a right or a wrong. But often I think we choose, as you stated, why would you love somebody, you know, you like the least in that regards? I think it often comes with emotional greed, I would say, so that you feel like you are helping your loved ones. You feel wanted, you know that they need you, some sort of self-satisfaction, hence you are more attached to them. But that form is, if you really evaluate, could be from the greed, because that form can be emotional as much as material. So it could be that too. And we become more wiser through the experience, through the pain, through the obstacles we go through. If we don't have any of it, I will say those things. If you asked me 20 years ago, I'd be like, what are you talking about? I mean, love, like, I have no idea what you guys are talking about. but things that I've gone through see things in different perspective. So I think it depends on where you at. I think that will determine how do they go about it.
Okay, so that was a good point. Before we have Chef close out and Equal, before I ask this next question, I want to ask everybody, please. We're only 3 likes away from 100. Let's get to 100 likes before 2 hours, please. Today the goal is to get to 150 likes. So we're right here. We're doing better than we did yesterday. In regards to likes. Thank you. Maybe it's because of Terry the Flower. She came up. I appreciate you. We're doing way better than we did yesterday. And this is the most engaging show on YouTube. And I say that because I have analytics to back it up. I'm not just saying because it's my show. I'm saying because I really mean it. So please, let's get the likes up. Let's get the subscriptions up. Just give me 3 more. And I want to read something to you. We need 1 more now. From my book, Proclamations 27, and I'm going to read the explanation part. It says, many people are not marrying the people that they truly love or loving the people they marry. Marriage is an ever-evolving partnership. Love is a divine challenge. A truly loving marriage consists of 2 partners who humbly accept the divine challenge of growing as one. Love and marriage are 2 different concepts that have the ability to coexist, but are not contingent on one another. And the reason I said that is because we are settling, and not just in dating, but also in marriage. How does that affect the individual and our Black community? How does that affect us? Chef E Black?
Chef, you want to go?
Yeah, I could take this one. And I don't know, man. I believe that love and marriage, they can exist within the same bubble, and they can exist separate or individual from one another. And somebody's gonna say, "What, Chef? What are you talking about? How can a marriage exist without love?" So when we talk about love, what kind of love are you talking about? Or what do you consider love? Because love is more than just the hugs, the kisses, the smash. It's way bigger than that. Love is the things that you do for a person when you don't want to do. Love is the thing that you do, because I don't believe love is just a word. Love is a subset of actions. Love is an energy. Love is the trajectory of actions that you take that reflect how you feel about the person that you're with. It's important. But here's the other piece. Love is also duty. When we speak to aspects of the Indian culture, think about it, East Asian Indian culture, arranged marriages were big. There were folks that got married. They maybe met the person a week before they were married. Fathers and mothers made a decision. When they started that dynamic, did love exist? No. In those dynamics, I don't even believe love existed at the time of conception of the child. Because the conception of the child is not something that was love-based. It was not erotic or romantically based. It was a duty by their deity or whoever's created to go forth and reproduce. So it wasn't the fun stuff that we look at it now. It's not fetishized. It was your job. Just like you had to go and shovel stuff and take out the trash, and you had to do that to make the child, to create the world. So in terms of them existing, are they able to exist? Yes. But now there's parts of love that do exist, even within that dynamic that I talked about. There's a respectful kind of love. There's an understanding kind of love. There's a love, there's even friends, people that you've been around, that have been around you for a long period of time. Just in them seeing how you move and how you conduct yourself, and them growing to know and understand you, that creates part of love, and this is my concept, part of love is it's an innate knowing about a person. It's an innate understanding of that person. We walk into this life not knowing. If I look for tits, I look for the fatty, I look for all of these things. Not one of them can create some sort of formula that's going to tell me that I'm going to be loved the way that I need to be loved. So love can exist by itself. Love can exist within the institution of marriage. But the institution of marriage can exist without all of the trappings of love. But I guarantee you, there's always some subset of love: the knowing, the understanding, the ultimate respect. The wife would still lay down her life for that husband, even though they're not romantic. That says something. So yes, they can exist together and exist, individually from each other. That's my piece.
Okay, E, and then we're gonna go to Sorrel, and I want to give an introduction to Sorrel and her Pillow Talk show on YouTube. And I did an amazing interview there, and I think you need to go and check that out. But before we introduce that flower, we want E Black to chime in real quick. And Natalie, please fix your devices because I can't bring you up because it says devices are not connected. Please fix that, please.
This is a good topic. I mean, when I was thinking about it, I always thought about my marriage and how I got to this point where I was able to kind of combine souls with an individual, and then after the initial wedding, still continuously bonding with the person and building and molding the other person to fit my needs, and having to fit that person's needs. And a lot of times we kind of associate love with marriage. Love is an emotional feeling. I love to play basketball, but I don't do it every day. I love to watch football, but I can't do it every day. Love is an attachment, and it's a symptom of a process that we want to continuously process through. When you get married, it's a duty. Chef said it perfectly. There's things that you're gonna have to do that you may not want to do, but you have to do. And this not doesn't mean you're sacrificing or you're settling. It just means that you're going to have to grow as an individual. And that's the part that I think a lot of people get messed up in this, is that you know when you're willing to do something, when you're willing to put together whatever masculine traits that you have to figure out to solve problems, that is sometimes more satisfying than when you're in love. When I make my wife smile by doing the things like washing dishes that I hate to do, I hate washing dishes. But when I see the smile on her face, that had nothing to do with love. That had to do with duty, because I had a duty to that person to ensure their happiness. See, it's things like that we get kind of brushed under the water because a lot of people want to have instant gratification or gratification constantly. Life is not about having constant gratification. Life is about learning the hard lessons in life that you've been through and going through them and appreciating the fact that your life is living the purpose of going through problems. And I'm going to repeat, your life is not about having constant joy and constant happiness. It's about having the opportunity to overcome things in your life to where you can be satisfied with going through that. So when we talked about the subject about settling, I tell people, we talked about it earlier about weight. And when I said settling, I was literally meaning settling, because if you set a standard for yourself and you go below that standard, you're also settling. If I set a standard of A's and I get C's and I'm okay with the C's without asking for the retest, then I'm settling for that grade. So when you talk about settling in life, yes, you have an expectation, but sometimes you just got to accept the fact that you're not going to get it all, because we're not children. You know, we're not children. We're grown-ups. And if you haven't lived a life as a grown up to where you've gotten everything, I don't know what grown up you got. I'm not that grown up. Is anybody that grown up that got everything they wanted? So how do we get into relationships and to the point where we expect everything that we want without working for it, or without at least attaining to the highest degree of what our principles are? I'm okay with saying, I may have settled in terms of not reaching the highest valued woman out on the planet. I'm okay with saying that. But I'm not okay with saying that I'm not working towards being a better person. So that's what I am. Working constantly in my marriage. I'm constantly working in my relationships. I have friends that I try to help out. I'm a good person. I want to be a good person. Those are the things that I value it, and I settle with that because I'm not accomplishing most of my goals. But I'm settling with the fact that, hey, I'm giving all I can, and that's what love is. Love is giving all what you can and being happy with the fact that you're going through the process. And you got to find a balance. I know a lot of people don't believe. A lot of people don't believe in the fact that they have to settle with a man, settle with 60,000, settle with the plumber. Guys have to settle with the woman overweight. A lot of people get into that little bag, and I try to tell you, when you get in love, that settling doesn't. It's a better feeling, man. It's a way better feeling. So that's my piece.
Man, I ain't gonna front, man. I ain't gonna front. That was heartfelt, man. That was
It's
very heart.
glowing right now.
No, that was very heartfelt. Before we jump into the flower of all flowers, Sorrel, before we jump into her, when we say flower, we say woman because they nurturing, they're beautiful. That's why we call you flowers. I want to say shout out to Daryl Wingate, one of the greatest artists and designers of all times. Thank you for that portrait of me. I'm gonna start using your images. Please look at Daryl Wingate. Is at Daryl Wingate, DERYL Wingate. Is his Instagram name. So look him up. He's an official designer. But thank you. But before we continue on this path, I want to say, E Black, that sounds amazing. That sounds good, but you sound old. You sound motherfucking old. And I say that because you sound old and grown and mature. But these young men and women they ain't jacking that right now. They want what they want, and they have the luxury of time to get what they want. So they want the girl with the hourglass shape, the big booty, and the big titties. Didn't you want that when you was young? Didn't that girl want that guy with the money and the status? It's till when we start getting older and we scared of being alone, we start saying, I'm willing to accept this. My sister's a lawyer. She graduated from BU, undergrad, master's, and law, JD, law degree, triple terrier. She says, as a woman gets older, looks become less important. Hold up. Looks become less. That means it was important. Why did it stop becoming as important? Why? Sorrel, please chime in.
Hi everyone. Hey King, how you doing?
What's up?
Can you guys hear me? Sak passé, nous là.
I love the Haitians. I love they stick together, man. Y'all need to ban JB though.
Who?
I'm joking around. JB is a guy. He's Haitian, but y'all stick together. I just don't want him to be part of your crew because y'all powerful. Y'all powerful. Y'all too powerful.
Indeed. So I'm sorry. Your question, I kind of lost it.
The question is, why is as you get older, why do things become less priorities? Is it because it's because of fear of being alone, or is it because it's not as important anymore? And I think it's more so the first one, because it was a priority and all of a sudden it's not.
I think it depends on the people. And we had that discussion where I was telling you that for me, it was never so much the looks, but more the character. And I think a lot of women also go along with that because the man, not to say that women are not visual, but we're not as visual as men, especially on a physical aspect. We may have certain criterias that we like to have, but for me personally, it's always been more of the personality. I could see a man that I'm not attracted to, then I start talking to him, and then all of a sudden he's the most handsome man on the planet, you know, because I like him. Um, and the opposite has happened as well, where I would meet a man and everybody would say, "Oh, wow, he's super handsome," but then you talk to him and you're like, "Oh, okay, not what I'm into at all." So I think both can happen. But as far as settling, the reason why we settle, I think you just go through life, and if you're attached to certain things like that don't matter as much, like someone's looks, or even someone's financial situation to a certain degree, going through life, going through the real hardships of life, you know, when you deal with things that you don't think about, like, I don't know, disease, death, all those hardcore situations that love, the romanticized love, doesn't prepare us for, sorry. I think that's when we sort of snap out of that romantic bubble and we realize, okay, it's not just you're cute, I'm cute, and we look good together on Instagram. It's like we have to work together to build something, and you know, have some sort of legacy that we can you know, leave for our children, or depending on what our missions are on this earth, what we came to do. I think that's when we start to realize what's really important.
So do you think, and this goes to Maya as well, both of you as well as Terry, because we have flowers in the room. Do you think women subscribe to dealing with men they hate the least?
I think some do. I think the women who choose, for instance, marriage and not necessarily love, or marriage and love, they may settle because they may feel like either they are alone and it's been a while, and now they're like, okay, you know what? I have no one in my life. Maybe my standards are too high. Maybe I wasn't realistic enough. Let me go ahead and just find someone because they understand the importance of being with someone, or they want to have someone in their lives. Or some women walk into it very, I'll say, mature, where they see marriage more as kind of like how you would run a business. We come together, we join forces, we put our cards on the table, and we decide what direction we're going in and take it from there.
Hmm. Maya?
Peace, everyone. So I'm gonna echo what E Black was saying. Marriage requires evolution. So when it comes to settling, I don't think anyone actually ever consciously thinks that they're settling. Um, I mean, someone can tell me if I'm wrong there, but I don't think anyone goes into marriage, you know, go into a marriage or relationship thinking, oh, I'm settling for this person. Because in order to settle for anyone, you would have to think that you are higher than that person or you're better than that person. So uh, I think the problem is that no one is, well, not no one, but a lot of people are not willing to put in the work and the effort. So when you're in a marriage, you are evolving into your greatest version of yourself with that other person, with that other human being. And you're becoming more spiritually aligned with that person. So everything should be getting better. The first parts of your marriage, it's going to be rough, it's going to be hard, it's going to be difficult, but you are continuously evolving with that person. So you should be loving that person 10 years, 20 years down the line more than you did the first day you were with that person. That person is going to get more handsome, or if you're a woman, you know, they're going to get more handsome to you. They're going to they're going to protect you more. They're Can y'all hear me? Oh, my sound went out.
We hear you. We hear
Yeah,
you.
you
Oh,
hear you
oh, okay,
perfectly.
okay. And let me see. They're going to uh you're going to be better friend. I mean, even your personal relationship is going to evolve. You know, that whole cliche of women being married and not, um, in essence, giving it up. As they get older, actually, it should get better. Everything about you as you evolve into this one entity should be getting deeper and I mean more aligned spiritually and just all around. So I'm not really sure what what settling means, but like E Black says, no one is getting everything. So when you're young, yes, you have this long list of things where you want a certain image. You want a person that, I remember my list when I was 18 years old. But as I and when I became a certain age and I had my child, there was something that I knew that I wanted and I needed, because now I had a human being that I was in charge of, and I knew I needed a certain role model, a certain man in that my son's life in order for him to become the man that he needed to be. And so marriage requires a great deal of work, but it's it's kind of like having putting all the work in as an entrepreneur. You put all that work in as an entrepreneur, and then years down the line you have $1 million business. That's what marriage is, and that's what marriage is supposed to be. So you know i think it's I think settling is something for certain people who are valuing themselves greater than the person that they're with. I think those are the only people who are actually settling. I don't think people are settling if they're deciding that I don't have 100% the things on my list. Um, so that's
Very
my.
good point. That's a very good point.
I agree. I normally I go by the end, but just to kind of chime in, and this is not so much as a statement, but maybe a question rhetorically. So, is it really settling though, or is it you beginning to come to grips with reality and all of the positive and negative things that reality brings you, including gravity, including, bone mass loss, bone density loss, including weight and saggy boobs and, you know, the bare belly for us and all of those things. At some point, do you really think that do you really think a person is actually working within their frontal lobe and be like, yeah, man, so I guess I'm gonna just settle for this dude right here. Remember we talked about, and I want to make sure you guys got to listen. This is for the show. Subscribe, hit the bell, hit the likes, and make sure you look at the other shows, because we will be pulling concepts that we discussed and unpacked from other shows. So that's going to be important. All right. And that's one of the reasons that you see it's dated, so you can have some chronological guidance to it. But
you're right. There is an intersection between the Four Horsemen and other content creators like Sorrel and Mayat, right? So when you see us, you go to their shows as well, because they might have something that you need to know for our show. So go to everybody's show. Pillow Talk, go to that show. She's gonna leave the information so we can post it up.
So we talked about Stockholm Syndrome yesterday. And as I've known about this, done papers about it, understood it for years and years. But the way we unpacked it yesterday, we were able to connect Stockholm Syndrome to geopolitical situations. We were able to connect it to, racial tolerance issues within this country. We were able to connect it to relationships, So I want to draw back. I want to kind of pull from that conversation about Stockholm Syndrome. If we are choosing to do something that we don't normally want to do, our brain and our level of ego and consciousness will not allow us to enter that situation. Some people do. And normally what happens in those situations, if there was some sort of, financial ulterior motive that exists or another nefarious motive, at some point that thing will fizzle out because motives die, motives change. So at some point she's going to be ghost. But when we talk about somebody that's settling, once people become lonely, loneliness is one of the craziest specters that exists in the world. Loneliness is like a weapon. The prison industrial complex, they utilize loneliness as the ultimate weapon and punishment by putting you into solitary. Loneliness creates trauma. No verbal, no emotional,
On the lights out.
no tactical, companionship with another person can create trauma. So if we're talking about trauma, who knows? And this is that thing, think about it. Maybe Stockholm syndrome exists where at some point that person's whole essence is choosing companionship over loneliness. Can we blame them? Nah, we can't blame them because you don't want to see the sister sitting at 68 waiting for the perfect guy. You get what I'm saying? So at some point, our system, our essence chooses companionship over loneliness. Is that correct? No, I'm not saying that. All I'm just saying is that I don't truly believe that we literally conceptualize, I'm going to settle and stay in it. I don't think those exist at the same time.
May I just add something?
Please do.
I agree. And I think the word settle doesn't have to be negative. It doesn't necessarily, I think in some cases, like the sister described, you do have marriages that are, because not every marriage is good. I've seen plenty of marriages when, in fact, you did have a woman who thinks of herself very highly and treats her man poorly. Those are also out there. And she settled. She feels in the negative form of the negative sense of the word. She feels like she settled. She feels like, and that's the women that will cheat, probably not value her man, mistreat him, etc., etc. But then you can view settle as just being realistic, because when you were younger, you had like your list. So he has to be 6 feet and up. He has to drive this type of car. He has to, and as you get older and you go through life, then that list sort of goes down because you're settling, but not in a negative way, just falling into the realities of life. So I think there's two ways of looking at the word settling.
You know what's funny, because I'm a little bit weird, right? So I love Karen Samuels, and we're gonna jump into him, and we're not bashing him because he's still my frat brother, but we're gonna talk about the sexual marketplace value, right? But before we go into that, I'm a person that I don't think women should settle. I am a hopeful romantic, not a hopeless, but a hopeful. So I really do believe you can get whoever you want in this world, and you should not let reality or old age hinder you. The problem I think there is that you don't want to do what it takes to get the person that you want. You have to be your best to get the best. See, people want to get discounts or shortchange the lover that they deserve. And that's the problem with me. For me, I think people do not put themselves in the best position to get the person that they deserve. So they're just hoping that the person that they deserve will love them for them. And love, once again, is not synonymous with marriage for me. I was talking to a girl right now. She not right now. Back in the day, she went to Harvard and went to UCLA Law School, and she's married with a child. And she says, you have to prepare yourself for the person that you want. And people are not preparing themselves for the person that they want. People are just basically, they showing up and say, why don't you love me? The same way Chef talks about weaponizing loneliness, people weaponize love to make you deal with things that you wouldn't normally deal with. I'm a big advocate of you being a hopeful romantic, believing that you can get whoever you want, but you have to put in the work and know that it might not be in your favor, but you still have a chance. For example, it might not be in your favor to go to Harvard, but why won't you apply? It might not be in your favor to go to the NBA, but you're not gonna play in the AAU team. You're not gonna try. It might not be in your favor to get that guy, but you're not gonna go up to him, or vice versa. It might not be in your favor to get Halle Berry, but if she's in front of you, are you not gonna take a shot? The only reason why you won't take a shot because you already talked yourself out the game. Because you know that you're not ready for that type of responsibility. You know that. But you want to say, oh, you know what? I'll go with you because I know that I'm ready for you. That's not fair to the person you're with, in my opinion. If you know you deserve better, why are you going for that person? Go for who you want. That's why I always ask girls, who you find attractive? And as soon as they say Idris or Ocho Cinco or whatever, my twins, the people that look like me, y'all both to laugh. That was a bad joke, laugh. But as soon as they say those people's name, I say, why didn't you go for them? Some girls say, well, he's married. I said, good answer. Why didn't you go for him when he wasn't married? Whoever you want, you need to go for, because you don't have one life to live. That's just my opinion. Oh, Terry.
Okay.
Hi, I'd like to chime in a few things. Jeff said, about trauma, the loneliness with the companionship and so on and so forth, which I understand. I think we often forget, that's including myself. The journey that I took on was not easy one, but one thing we often forget, every single one of us have a choice. How do we direct our lives, right? So if you are afraid to be alone and you choose a companionship, they're not really suitable for you. That's your consequences that you are dealing with. If you choose loneliness because you don't want to deal with that companionship that drive you crazy, creating a drama, that is a consequence that you deal with. But those choices that we make every day changes. The situation that in my culture we have all saying is this: a man, before they rush to the bathroom, and then after he finishes the bathroom, leave the bathroom, it's two different people. In person. One is on desperation and one is after relief, right? Our circumstances, the environment triggers our emotions every day. So if we are learned to remove our emotions and when it's especially triggered, and then look at it in a very objective way, I think we'll be a lot less hurtful to each other. And if we are able to communicate, just like what's going on, everybody's flipping out about Dave Chappelle. I'm like, I don't get it. He has not lied. Because it's simply you don't like the facts. It doesn't change the facts. Sometimes I think we have to looking at our relationship often too emotionally invested and not looking at things in fair way. I'm not as a men's not. I'm not saying that because I have been seeing a lot of emotional men's as well. So I'm not talking about when it comes to gender wise. I think everybody has a different journey. So I think we have to really aware of the decisions that we are making and aware of circumstances that we are in while we are making the decision. So I think that goes with the partnership as well. Whoever you choose to be with, I think that's what stage you are in, that kind of determines your decision. And often it can be wrong, and then often we made it make it work because we made that commitment. We promised that we took a vow, and we're trying to fulfill that what we promised to the person that we care the most, right? And to be honest, whether settling is negative light or positive light, I don't think anybody's really settling it. Like, you don't want to go down the road. I think that's most disrespectful to treat someone. I'm settling for you. No, I never asked for that. That's humiliating. I don't want anybody to think that way to anyone. So, I mean, that's my opinion. But I think it comes to the trauma that we have experienced, whether it's extreme or not, I think, are we aligned? I think that's the most important thing. In any relationship, friendship, business relationship, your moral value, wife, daughter, children, and then a parent. I think everything has to be somewhat aligned, and we gotta put effort to it. I think that's the most difficult journey because it's close to our heart. I think that's why the conversation gets like this situation, that situation. We have a lot of scenarios, but comes down to the core, it's the alignment that we are looking for. I think that's what is really important to individuals. What are you looking for? And understand that there's consequences to every decision that we make.
What's fun? I want to say one
I
thing.
think Maya looked like she was about to say something.
Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize.
Oh no, that's okay. So I think one thing though, we do have to make sure we understand how deep trauma goes. So when you are traumatized, and trauma can happen as soon as when you're in the womb. And in our community, we are traumatized from prior generations. So a lot of us Black women we have not seen a what we would consider good men around us. So we don't know what good men look like. And so when a good man approaches us, sometimes we say silly things like he's too nice, or he's too this or he's too that. So then we kind of bypass the good one, and then we go over to this one because he looks like he checks off all the boxes. So when we are trauma, and a lot of times, even with friendships, we trauma bond over friend. Oh, we have those trauma bonds with friends. We have it with relationships, and then imbalance leads to more imbalance. So even if you could think you are aligned in the beginning, you end up becoming, you end up having a imbalanced relationship down the line because you bonded over trauma, or you were so traumatized you don't even know what good or healthy or peaceful or any of those things look like. So that's my piece, but go ahead, King.
Okay. Go
I want to
ahead,
say
Key.
one thing. I felt a lot of spiciness coming from Terry. She said, she says, very disrespectful for you to tell me that you settling for me. So, ladies, flowers, can you tell me signs that you can tell the rocks or the men that we can spot when a woman is settling for us? Because y'all settle more than we do, in my belief. Can you give us signs that we know, okay, damn, she really don't fuck with me like that. She just with me. Can you give us any signs? And be honest. Be honest now. What are some signs that men can look for when a woman is settling? And we're going to do the vice versa.
Um, right off the bat, I can start by saying, like when a woman is using a man, she's not like, you'll see a lot of. I was watching a show yesterday. I think it was a Kevin Samuel show actually, where he was saying,
Turn the lights
explaining,
up, turn the lights up. Sorry, turn the lights up.
uh, where he was saying how women were using men. Maybe it wasn't in the context of a relationship, but it's still, the nice guy, like you've just described, who's taking you out to dinner. You have no intentions of really starting an actual relationship with him, but you just go along for the free dinner, the date, you get dressed up, but you don't really care about the guy and you're sort of just dragging him on. Some people actually get into relationships with those people and lead them on for the benefits of being in a relationship, knowing that you're going to get a driver who's going to take you from A to Z. He's going to take care of all your stuff. He's going to buy you things, but they don't care about the man at all. So those are clear signs. And it's unfortunate because a lot of men that maybe will get called simps, will accept that position and play that role, but will end up losing in the end. So it's unfortunate, but it happens. I've seen it a lot.
So so what else? What other signs can we look at? Because every girl does it. Every girl dated or went out with someone. They was like, I'm just dealing with him for now. Come
No,
on, give some
well,
signs.
I would disagree.
Mayat, you have high vibrations, but I know somebody, you did somebody a favor. Come on, Mayat.
Oh, that's taking it back. I've been married for 13 years,
Oh
so
yeah.
that's taking it
I
back.
respect your husband. Your husband is our brother. Your husband is our brother.
Oh, right.
Your husband is our brother. We don't have no
So
problems.
I'm trying to think. That's taking it back. I've been around women who they will go out. I said, I asked them like, oh, you're interested in this, guy, and she was like, oh, I'm just going out because he's taking me out to eat. So that's outrageous to me, but that will happen. But I think also it's a little different. I feel like it's different for women when it comes to settling, because when women settle in the sense of what you're talking about, it's usually to our detriment in a sense, because women will settle for things that are toxic. Like, they'll know that that man is cheating on them, but he's a warm body, or he brings home a check. So, that's a form of settling. When it comes to women thinking that they're better than the person that they're with, then though there are definitely signs there, because women will say certain things to you to let you know that they feel like they're better than you. So say they have a degree and you don't have a degree, so they'll bring up their degree, they'll bring up their job, they'll
Okay.
bring up what kind of car that they have, they'll bring up certain things that they have done for you, or if they've done things for you, like they've given you something, they'll bring up those things to let you know that, hey, I could be somewhere else, or I could be doing something else, or I could be with someone else. So there's certain things, and I think I always tell people to listen for the signs, because the signs are always there. Because there's certain things that men or women will bring up, because men will do that too. Men will bring up certain things and let a woman know, like, hey, you know I could be somewhere else, I can be with this other chick. So there's all these different forms of settling. Like, I do look at the word settling as a negative term, because I believe that when you no longer feel like you need those things on a list, then you're not settling, you're evolving into you're evolving into a better version of yourself. So you're not thinking of somebody, you getting somebody less than 6 feet as settling. You're valuing something better. That person is bringing you peace into your life. That person is bringing you stability. So those are some of the signs that I can think of.
I agree.
Fellas,
Flowers. I agree. I agree. I agree.
fellas, give us some signs.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I've been meaning to respond to the ladies for a minute now.
Ooh, you
I
in
like.
trouble. We gonna hold y'all accountable.
Uh-oh.
Wait. I thought he was the accountable Darrell. Now he the lover Darrell.
My guy,
He's
my guy,
evolved. He's
my guy.
evolved.
Let me say something first. I appreciate all of you flowers and all the opinions. Right. One thing that I didn't appreciate was the whole thing about men settling, as and we should accept certain things. I don't believe in that. even under the context of trauma. I don't, because as Kevin Samuels once said, and I'm just saying that he's always right, but he used a great point of context of saying that our grandmothers and grandfathers, they had way more trauma, and the relationships worked out better, right? They was in shape. They knew how to cook for their family. They knew what was best for their family. So for me, if I have a woman and I want to date her, I don't care if it's 10 years from now. I don't care if it was 10 years ago. The standard's not going to change, right? Because, and you don't got to look like Halle Berry. You don't got to look like Megan Thee Stallion either. But I need you to stay fit. I need you to stay healthy. I need you to be proactive about these different things, right? I can't have you saying, "Oh, babe, instead of me preparing a dinner and being proactive, I made you a bologna sandwich." You know what I'm saying? And I got you some mayonnaise too, and because what it's going to tell me is that this is how she's going to handle every other thing that we have going on, right? Except the things that matters to her, right? When it's time to make sure the bills is paid, go on a date, take a trip out the state or whatever, that has to be handled to a T. Dot all I's, cross all T's. But when it comes to these other different things, you don't want to take them serious. All right, cool. So for me, I don't settle on these different things, right? And I have like a little period, right? I go by this period. Oh, cool. Let me take these mental notes. I'm gonna watch how you move. I'm gonna watch if you're gonna respect me. I'm gonna watch if I tell you, hey, listen, I'm gonna be on the show tonight with some people. I'm gonna see if you're gonna tap in,
That's
right?
the big. I hate when you got girls. You take them out. You do everything, and they don't even come and support your show. Oh, that's a turn off.
For me, it's just all about like just again matching the energy. Like I said at the beginning of the show, what I'm giving you is nothing less than what I expect in return, right? And it's really just genuineness. I'm being very genuine about what I'm going to give you. You're going to be coveted, right? For example, if a woman lives with me, she's not paying any bills, right? In exchange for that, the least I expect is to wake up to some Red Bull, some coffee, some meals, right? Get me together, right? And when I come home at night, you don't gotta look like the finest woman, like what E Black was saying. I'm cool with that too. But to me, you gotta look like the finest woman. And it's not that hard. It's not hard to go get some lace underwear.
Damn.
It's not hard
Hold
to
up.
go.
What time is it? It's about to get. It's like 9:30. You went from pro black to pro nasty. All right.
I'm just saying, man. I can go on. I'm just saying a lot of these different things don't happen. It doesn't matter what age. All of you women are, let's say, older than the average young lady, right? But it don't matter because for the right man, you guys could take it there, right? And that's all I'm saying is that on these different things, when it comes to femininity, I can't settle. I don't believe I should settle. And the kind of man I am, I'm not going to settle.
Okay,
That's all.
can I
Yeah.
say can I
Sorry.
say
Go
something
ahead.
real quick? So did one of us say that you should settle?
It didn't say like settle, but when somebody, it kind of implies it, right? So if you tell a man, if you say, as you get to a certain age, you start to accept certain things, you start to see certain realities. To me, that sounds like what King was kind of describing is like you get to a point, and kind of what I'm so sorry, I don't want to mispronounce her name. She has glasses on, Asian young lady. Yes, right next to me.
Terry.
Terry. Forgive me, Terry. What Terry was saying about the whole settling thing, I'm on that tip, right? If you accepting, if being with me is accepting your new reality, your new false reality, I don't want to be with you either because I'm not ever gonna see you that way.
Right.
The woman I'm with, she
Fact.
is my reality. She's bringing so much life into me. I don't ever want to think of my woman as, man, I had to really change my whole reality to get, and then we ended up here. No, I want to see every time she come through the door. That's my life right there. That's my peace right there, right? And when the doors close and the cameras go off, I'm not thinking about no other women because she's bringing everything I need, right? And so
I ain't
that's
going.
what I think.
I
I,
ain't go,
I
I ain't going front. We got chef next. I want to. And you had something to say, Cheryl? You had
no,
something
I just want to say, I don't know if you were also, I never said that we need to settle. I described the types of the way I see it. Certain marriages said, okay, I just want to make that clear because I thought, okay.
Yes,
Right.
ma'am.
And
Yes,
I
You got
ma'am.
want to
that.
say something to
Right.
the generation, because I mean, I listen to Kevin Samuels, and I agree with some of the things he says, but not all. And when we talk about our grandparents, yes, they went through more trauma. Yes, their marriages lasted, but we cannot honestly say that they had better marriages than we did. You
Mm.
know, I, my husband and I, we formed our marriage from not wanting to be like the marriages that we saw before us. So we're in a whole different space because we have more knowledge at our hands, and we have we're better equipped, and yes, we have gone through less trauma, but we also saw a lot of things from our grandparents and our parents that brought us here today. So the prior generations is what brought us here today. And what we're doing today is going to be what stems to the next generation. So if we don't get it together, there's going to be less marriages, or less relationships, or less black level, whatever you want to say. It's going to be less of that because of what is going on right now today, which you see that we are not doing so great in that arena. So I wouldn't say that they had better marriages. I just think that they stuck it out, but they were causing a lot of trauma along the way to everybody that was in that house. So that's all I have to say about that.
I can't disagree, and I have no argument, but I would like to defend myself a little bit, right?
Okay.
So the way that I like to, the way that I taught my sisters and I try to teach my two daughters, when it comes to, and she's a 1 year old, so I don't even talk to her. But my oldest, right, she's 10. So what I tell her is, baby, no, and I'm trying to put this into context for you guys. If you have a person who, if you have a man who is inconsistent, I guarantee no matter the height, character, career, no matter what we bring along that we can name right now, if he's inconsistent, none of the women on these panels are going to want to be with him, right? Because when you're inconsistent in one area, more than likely you're inconsistent in other areas. And to me, that's basically what I'm saying is I don't accept inconsistencies, right? If I tell you, Terry, I want this. I need this every day. I need eggs and bacon and pork. I'm sorry, I need eggs and turkey bacon every day. I need to eat healthy every day. Right. And then you get up and you making me pulled pork with barbecue sauce every day. To me, I'm gonna think, damn, I tried to talk to her, I tried to reason with her. She really not feeling me, because if she felt me, she would
Turn the
respect
lights
me,
up.
and she would honor what I'm saying, because when she opened up to me about what she wanted, I honored that. You know what I'm saying? When a dirty pastor was coming after her, I came in, I handled that, right? Right. So for me, if all I'm asking for is a little bit of cooperation, I really don't feel like I'm asking for much. Only thing I'm asking for you is to really be consistent. I swear I'm not that hard to please. I swear to God, I'm not. And all
And
three of you women are
I agree
beautiful,
with that. I
right?
agree with that.
Thank
I
you.
agree with reciprocity. I agree with um balance in relationships, so I definitely agree with that.
Thank
You
you.
know, we it is disrespectful to say you're selling this for someone else, but I do think, and the men didn't answer this question. Men, what are certain signs that women could look out for when we're selling for them? And I think men settling is different. I think men, when we meet a girl, we like her. I think we start settling towards as the relationship goes further. That's what I believe. In the beginning, we all in your face, we love you, and then towards somewhere along the line, when the lace panties is not there, like Joel said, we feel like we're settling. Is that true, fellas, or what's going on with men? Do men settle?
I want to touch this
Yeah,
part real quick.
definitely. Go ahead.
Clarification, right? I just want to make sure I get the clarification correct. Settling. settling for giving a dating opportunity or relationship opportunity to someone that does not fit the strata and subset of physicality that I normally would choose, or are we talking about being in a loving relationship within the auspices of a relationship, and then noticing certain things that you're not comfortable with, and then remaining in there, because it's kind of two different things.
Right. So I want to answer both. I'm glad you asked those things, but for me, I'm not talking about marriage because I'm not in a marriage or a long committed relationship. But I will say that I will deal with a woman that I would not talk to on a normal basis and give you 6 months, 3 to 6 months to get the shit together. If not, then I can't deal with you. And I expect that in return. Right. So I will meet you. We like each other. We vibe. We love each other's company. But there's things that's not working out. You got 3 to 6 months, and I got 3 to 6 months to get it right. Other than that, so you're on probation, whether it be weight, finances, and I respect when a woman does that to me. Like, you know what? I need you to make more. Let me figure it out. If I can't, cool. Or if a woman, if I say like, I like you, I love you, but you gotta lose. I can't have you around me like this.
Yeah, ultimatums to me, ultimatums don't work, family.
Okay.
Ultimatums, I don't think ultimatums are good, because in order for your ultimatum to really hold weight, you're putting a finite, specified set of behaviors or things on the table that have to be satisfied. Those boxes have to be checked. And if they're not checked, you're letting that person understand that they'll be erased. Ultimatums are a horrible thing, because once you bring an ultimatum to a table in a freaking relationship, some folks don't understand, you're telling them what it takes to eliminate them. That's the total antithesis of unconditional love. Once you start to flip ultimatums, unconditional love.
Turn the lights up.
Doesn't make sense. I don't see them existing within that same egg. You get what I'm saying? I really don't, man. I'm trying to look. I'm trying to figure out what you're saying. I'm like, shit. How does that conversation even take place without destroying the person? Because in order to make that conversation take place, in order for me to give someone an ultimatum, what that immediately does, it defines the dynamic of where we stand within that bubble. Employer, employee. The person giving the ultimatum is always the person in power. So just that's in the ultimatums within a relationship can be a destruction to the situation and to that person's self-esteem, because you're literally telling somebody this is your sentence for doing this or not doing this. But what you're also doing is letting them know how easily you would eliminate them from your life. Ultimatums do a disservice to you.
I agree 100%. I'm sorry, guys. I was just really calling to pass by.
Thank
I
you.
really have to go. I really appreciate this moment with all of you. I'll be following and checking up for your channels. Thank you, King, for having me.
Thank you.
Male, Napale.
Okay, Napale.
Everyone have a nice evening. Bye.
Good night.
Bye.
Peace.
Anybody have anything to say in regards to that?
For in regards to how men settle, first of all, let's just start with the obvious. If a man is not putting in his masculine effort to appease a woman, sometimes men realize that we can get over, no dinners, no conversation, no effort to truly bond. Sometimes you'll hear a man say, "Hey, I paid the bills this month. I don't have to do anything extra." That's called a form of settling, because if a man knows that he's got a prize, he's not going to sit there and say, "I've just paid the bills. You need to get on my level." The man's going to be like, "You know what? I paid the bills, but baby, we're going to have to do date night too. I know I love you, baby." checking in mentally, spiritually, emotionally. These are things that men should be doing as an extra because you know what the value of having that reciprocated back to you. But when you're just settling, it's to the couch and a beer. So, I think if you're in a relationship, I always feel that it is the man's duty to enhance the environment, to foster an environment to where the woman can show her femininity and then you take all the joy of that. I put it to the situation like a flower bed or a bed because I have a garden in my backyard, right? It's my duty to ensure that the weeds are there. I got good quality soil. But once I do all the things that are necessary, the flowers will come. The buds will come. The fruit will come. Everything will come. It's hard work. But if I don't put any effort into it and I'm just settling to it, guess what my flower bed is going to look like? You're going to be overrun, unproductive, unproducing. So I think when we talk about settling, in the man's world, settling means not putting forth the maximum masculine effort. And that's true masculinity, not just paying bills. It's true masculinity, and it's true applying the necessary environments. When you're in the company of a man, a real man, right? And the way I see it, if you're in the company of a real man, you should always be feminine or feel feminine.
Yes.
And when you're feminine, you're truly giving the man all what he wants. It's backwards. I don't get that sometimes. I don't understand how brothers don't get that. How brothers don't understand that. As long as you handle your business, as long as you're doing the things that are necessary and she's feeling as feminine as possible, she's gonna be giving you more. She's giving more open space. And if she's not giving you open space when you do that, then she's settling.
Turn the lights up. Turn the lights up. Turn the lights up. Turn the lights up.
I agree with
So
E
Right now,
Black, man. I
I ain't
definitely agree with E
preaching.
Black.
Yes.
I'm gonna make these my last statements, King. Cause I'm about to go pick up some food and stuff soon. But let
Okay.
me let me say this
Oh,
real
but no more. You don't got no spicy stuff for us, real quick, before you leave.
quick.
So we gonna drop this and let me know.
Oh yeah, no, I got some shit that's about to be ultra spicy, man. When it hit the net, you know what I'm
Okay.
saying. I had some YouTube police on my ass this week, but you know what? I rectified it, and this video is about to come out way better. Shout out to E Black. E Black was all in this video.
oh
Um,
man.
Oh, so let me ask you a question before you say what you're gonna say. Are we allowed to put people's like I have an interview with people? Am I allowed to post on my page?
absolutely right.
Do I need
So
a permission?
absolutely not, because the fair use clause. What happened with me and my copyright issue was that I didn't do a reaction. Like I wasn't in it. I just downloaded it and posted it.
Oh, so if you're in it, you
You
don't have
have
to
to
react
speak
it.
over it. You
You
have
have
to
to
speak
speak
over
over
it,
it.
chop it up a little bit so that it does not come out within its original form. You have to literally bastardize it by and literally just popping in, saying something.
Wait, hold up.
Sometimes
You
you
can
freeze
literally come in and
frame, you
say,
play the
"Hey, this is."
audio.
Well, hold
Yeah,
up. But,
you
but
can.
if
Oh,
I'm
go ahead.
if I'm in it, do I have to do that?
Yes, you still have to do that.
Literally, yes.
Okay, perfect. Thank
Because
you.
they own the rights to that particular broadcast.
Okay.
I could have did that whole same video, but popped it in the middle and said, "Hey, this is just for copyrights," and it would have been not copyrighted. But you know what? The smoke is genuine, and I really don't give a fuck because, like I said earlier, I spent the last 12 hours, coming up with something much better, and it's so much more genuine, providing so much more context. Nobody's gonna have to ask which video is that, what time step is that, when did he say that? It's all provided. But listen, the smoke for the dirty pastor, I'm not even gonna really talk about except this. When I came online, I said that this man, because you asked me, could we come together because he checked the pedophile? I said no,
No, hold on.
because
Give Terry the context because yesterday we talked about this man who I don't particularly like. He actually stood up to a pedophile, and I was happy about that. And I asked Darrell, can you forgive him now because he stood up to a pedophile? Now you could go now.
I responded, I could not. We couldn't see eye to eye because you was the same person just a few months ago that was saying that if a woman was being assaulted, I can't say the other word, but she was being assaulted in one of the worst ways possible, you would do nothing about it. Right. So I was able to find that content and I was able to react to it beautifully. Right. The problem is,
Do I have permission to repost it on my page?
oh, you can repost the whole video. YouTube Conversation with King can repost anything on my channel.
Thank you.
Right. Let's go ahead and get that out the way now. But to me, just like my standards don't, like my dating standards not gonna stop. I don't care if I met a woman today, she was 65. She gonna be feminine and she gonna be in shape. She's not gonna be unattractive. She's not gonna be, for my preference. It's not even just fat. I've dated girls who was 180. That don't matter. How are you shaped? What kind of attitude are you walking around with, et cetera, et cetera. But to get back to the dirty pastor, my standards on protecting Black women and all women, Miss Terry, it's all that would never change, right? I like doing these different things without mercy, because if I went online and I said one different thing and in person, I'm a completely different person. These people are detrimental to our community, Lady Terry. To me, I just feel like I would be disingenuous to get in front of you guys and talk about protecting you guys, right? Talk about I'm this person, I'm that person. Then you guys find out that I witnessed a crime happening to a woman and then did nothing about it, right? It would get to the point where if I was in y'all shoes, this whole platform would mean nothing now, because these niggas rock with a motherfucker who is willing to watch something pop off like that and do nothing about it, right? And I'm not saying get violent, right, ladies? That's not your prerogative, then don't do that. But you better stop it. There's no way that you can walk. If you're able to walk past something like that, go home, go to sleep, eat pancakes, do a YouTube show. What kind of person are you? But you go online to check the predator. Let me ask you, ladies, something, right? And this is the last thing, because this is the last thing I'm gonna say, really real talk, because I said this in my video. And this how I feel about that situation, King. That kind of negligence remind me of what happened to the Central Park 5, right? You lock up 5 Black boys, that's one problem. But that young man who did what he did to that young lady, he did it 5 more times. So what you end up really doing is you put the community in danger. That's why we got to come after your neck. That's why we want your licenses, your degrees. You can't practice nothing no more because of that. Not just because of the boys in jail. That's one problem. But you deliberately, unintentionally put the community in danger. I'm not here for that. My standards do not change. They will not change. They want to bury me before that happens. It's not going to happen. And like I said, the video going to be good, man. Shout out to everybody here. Chef. Shout out to Marcelia. I appreciate it. Hope I said her name right. Terry.
Yes, and to respond, I respect your standard. I don't think it is your life, your decision. We gotta respect whether we have differences or not, and I respect your standards. I don't have any hesitation or questioning it whatsoever. Actually, knowing it, that makes you, I give you more respect because you know what you want. It's better to I know what you want than you get confused about, oh, I don't know, I'm not sure, maybe this, maybe that. No, I'm not attracted to that. At certain age, you gotta know what you want and go after a clear path. Why are you making all gray about it?
No, I respect that. Of being around the bush.
Gangster.
Thank you. And it's such a pleasure to having this conversation for sure.
The pleasure was mine. The pleasure was mine.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I give that network 6 months tops. at tops. I give it 6 months tops. Like, I'm being honest with you. I give it 6 months tops.
After this video, it might be that way, man. I don't know.
Not just even the video. It's just that I just give it 6 months. It's gonna scatter. Everybody's gonna do their own shows, and they can't move as a unit no more, because at the end of the day, now he's putting everybody associated with that. Like, It's one thing in the underworld. I'm not part of the underworld, but in the underworld, you can't be associated with certain people. So if you are associated with someone that condones the disrespect and the abuse of women, whoever hangs with him is just like him. And I'm going to leave it at that. So I give them 6 months. I
And this is the
stand
last
tall.
thing I'm really gonna say too.
Any woman that's been with me or been out with me know I am a gentleman, and they know I will die on the spot for them if someone touches them.
And the last thing I'm gonna say before I get out of here, gentlemen and ladies, is that all my smoke after this video, because a lot of people been feeling like I've been taking it too far. And on some topics, I might have. But I understand that it's all justified here. And I'm not trying to sound like a fuck nigga here. I really stand on what the fuck I mean. Everything I've said about that team over there, I meant that shit. This video that's coming up, I meant that shit. When I talked to Chicago Gorilla and everything that we had to say, I meant that shit. I only named him specifically because we talked, right? Everybody else, I'm gonna bring up in the video. Shout out to Kay. Shout out to Courtney, right? Shout out to the flowers over there that deserve to be protected. That shouldn't be having men, above on the panel telling them that I will stump you in the ground when it comes to me or any other man. We talking about de-escalation tactics. I can't wait for that part of my video, man. Look, I'm out of here. God bless you guys, and you guys have a good night, man. All right.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Peace.
Pleasure. Peace.
Yeah. So, man, that kind of ended the show really because we really can't go anything after that. I just want everybody to be safe out here and on these YouTube streets because this doesn't come out outside of YouTube. We are all peaceful. I want to thank the flowers for coming out. I also want to thank everybody else that we reached 100 likes. We was trying to aim for 150, but I forgot today is what King's Talk. That had nothing to do with us anyway. They don't affect us anyway. But at the end of the day, we did a great job. This is one of the most engaging shows ever, ever. And I appreciate, what you have brought to the table, flowers and gentlemen. Hopefully tomorrow we come back with more gems, more information, more entertainment to make everybody learn something and improve their growth in life. Because life is about growth. Once you stop growing, you're stagnant. And once you're stagnant, you cease to exist. So let's continue to grow. Let's continue to be bigger, better, and more beautiful. Any final words from anybody?
This is the first time I ever been like this, so I'm a little like, how should I say, beginner. But I really appreciate sharing your journey, your wisdom, and you really helped me through some of the part that I haven't thought about. It gave me opportunity to think about. So I appreciate this platform. Thank you.
Thank you, Terry. Appreciate you. You're always welcome back.
Thanks.
And I just want to say thank you, guys, Kings, and it's nice to meet you, Terry. This is a great platform. I think we talk about some amazing things, and I feel like this is really going to help people grow. So I'm just thankful to be here in this space.
Well, thank you for being here, ladies. Flowers, I should say. I really appreciate the commenters, all the people who commented, all the people who liked, all the people who shared, even the people who didn't like in the background and who just watched. We know you're watching. We know it. We see you. We appreciate it. And like I said, follow us for the future. And that's all I gotta say. I ain't gonna get in my bag.
No. Hold up. You mean people are watching?
Yeah, we know they watching. They watched the whole episodes.
Oh, well, good for them, man. I hope they learn something. We all learn it together.
Yeah, they just don't want to leave a like. That's okay. We get it.
Right. That's it. It's okay. It's powerful because at the end of the day, it still doesn't change the impressions.
Yeah.
It still doesn't stop the algorithms. It still doesn't stop the analytics. This conversation with King is kicking ass, literally. Trust me. Trust me. If I only had 2 viewers and 1 like, Shannon wouldn't have been on this show. Trust me. Trust me. They know what's up. They know what's up.
So I guess it's left on me to close it out, right?
Yep.
First things first, I want to thank each and every one of y'all that have created this little groundswell and can appreciate what it is that we're doing. It's coming from an organic place, and we take a lot of seriousness, and we feel that it's an extremely important thing when we craft these ideas, these concepts. We think about curating who's the best folks to be able to communicate them. Why? with certain topics and certain things that where we even have to put disclaimers. I think that it's, like I said yesterday, it's extremely important that the people that we entrust the message to are responsible enough to deliver that message or crunch those numbers that we need them to crunch. And in terms of the folks that we've had on the panel, the folks that we've had within the chat, some of you guys have even made it, tried to keep us accountable, debate with us. And I'm really, really, really happy that we've created an ecosystem where folks will be really comfortable in terms of communicating, debating, disagreeing within a respectful, safe place. Back to One Piece. I want to thank our flowers. This is not a red pill show. Some folks may want to put this in that universe or in the Black Manosphere or whatever. This is not that type of show. So in terms of this not being a red pill show, our flowers are critically important. And I have to apologize to my flowers. I won't do it again. When I spoke to the flowers, I spoke to the air, the oxygen, and how we protect them. Shit. The flowers, the garden, that's how we feed ourselves as well. So I want to thank you, sisters, you flowers, for giving us the gift of oxygen to be able to feel comfortable. You created a safe place as well for us. Why? Because you allowed us the capability to discuss these matters, and for us to understand it was safe, and for us to who really respect women not to feel like we were going to be disrespecting you. So I appreciate you, ladies, you flowers, for allowing us the opportunity to be candid, to express radical candor, and I appreciate you guys for also being the food that feeds us during the harvest. I know it sounds corny. I switched to the close-up camera just to make sure the sincerity was cool. And I'm trying to tighten up my digital game. You get what I'm saying? But real talk, I appreciate you. I guess get goosebumps when I see what's going on, because this was something last week that I didn't think I was going to be doing this week. I really didn't. And I take this thing as therapy. So I sincerely appreciate y'all. Thank you for joining. And, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. So when we decide to, go crazy and pop something off at a weird time, you'll know. All right.
But let me ask you a question. Because you've been helping with analytics since I've been on this, you and Daryl. And the analytics, the demographics, literally, we have more men watch our show than flowers. What does that mean? That's crazy. We have more men that watch our show than flowers, but I feel like we get more support from the flowers when we're online. Can someone explain that to me?
I think the women are more than willing to appreciate the message that they're hearing. So they're being vocal about it. And I think the men don't want to show that they approve of this message. Because right now we're in a spooky time on YouTube Spaces.
Oh, okay.
So right now, like I said, when I see people, I know the people watching.
Yeah, because I have the data. I have the data. Like, there's people really watching this, and this is just the stream. So when we talk about the 60, we're up to 80 today, 90 today.
We just had another video with 1,000. Like, for real.
right. So my thing is, and this has started 6 days ago, literally. So with that being said, we have more men watching us, but I feel like we get more support from women. So that either means what E Black says, or what I'm thinking is there's a shift in paradigm of men who want to respect women and they don't know how to.
I agree, but I also want to make sure that we don't forget the other variable of the agents that hold a certain degree of allegiance to other groups who wish to come through and be the spook that's set by the door in terms of running back and providing information, providing intel. Oh, you got to log in. They talked about you right now. So you're going to get a certain amount of those as well.
So you mean 600 out of the 1,000, because 67% are men and the rest are women. You mean that many people hate and go back?
No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that some of that number, I mean, watch this. It's obvious that some of that number includes them because you'll see in the comment section how many of them are actually saying stuff, commenting, or what have you. So you're always going to get that number. There's always going to be that scout that's going to come out to see what the ops are doing. You feel what I'm saying? So I'm not saying that's the number and, giving the other folks that much props. I'm just saying that definitely plays a part into the number, no question.
Well, I want to say one thing. I didn't know. I thought they show started at 8:30. Today was the first time I ever heard them starting at 7:30 ever. Am I wrong? You've been with them.
So I'll tell you with this one we started because it seems as though they moved the date. It seems as though they removed the date because I remember watching them on a Wednesday or something. But we started this. What was this? Wednesday? We started this last Wednesday.
Right.
So tonight is Tuesday. So I don't think if they were on Tuesdays, I'm just thinking the night that we started, it was the night after they aired.
Yeah, but they weren't. You don't start at 7. You'll be there, right? Right. E. They don't start at 7:30.
I can't recall. I want to say I get out at the gym 6:30ish, and it's hard to imagine an hour later that they would be starting. So I can't confirm or deny.
So I don't recall. I have it, but the thing is, it doesn't matter when they start, how they start. I want to say, we are doing amazing, and I want to say thank you. And we hit the same numbers. Yesterday we did our thing, but we actually hit the same numbers while they were doing their show. So to me, it shows that we have our own core audience.
Yeah, like I tell people, I see the flowers, and it is definitely a good site. Like when I say I see the flowers in the chat.
Yeah, Freedom's right. It's 8. They start 8:30. I'm telling you, they moved it up.
Yeah. So
Eastern or Central.
They start 8:30 Central. Yes, you're right.
7:30 Eastern.
Okay, so you're right. Yeah, so they didn't move it up. So see, I stand corrected. I'm always looking for beef. I'm always looking to find something to go, but I'm sorry.
And I'm always trying to get you back in the case.
Right. Yeah, but don't worry. We play. Geronimo said it best. We're playing chess. It's a different game with us. It's a totally different game. Trust and believe. But thank you so much. I want to say I love y'all all. I appreciate y'all. And until tomorrow, take care.
Peace and love. Thanks for listening, folks.